welcome. It's HardLore time. What's up, Bo?
What's going on, brother?
Just this guest we have.
Just a lunchtime fun time, I guess.
That doesn't have any. The audience don't know what the fuck you're talking about,
but they can now.
But this is the earliest we've ever recorded. So
earliest, crack of dawn.
Bo is blowing boogers out of his eyes while I've been awake for 12 hours. But more importantly,
who do we got?
Our guest today, Mr. Justice Tripp of Angel Dust, Trapping and Rice, and more. Let me give you some applause here that you deserve.
Oh, damn.
Welcome, Justice.
What's up?
Thank you so much for being here today.
Can y'all hear me?
You
okay?
sound amazing.
Great.
Cool.
Do you know how fateful this is that you were here? Like how inevitable this was?
Oh, absolutely. Just waiting for my time to
Exactly.
shine.
I have two things right off the bat. One, do you remember the first words that you ever said to me?
Shit, man. Was it at the Halloween show when you had the bald cap on? You're like, bald
No, that was
life?
way later.
Oh, wow. What was before that?
Before that was good, though. Before that was Ruckus played a show with Trapping and Rice at Chain Reaction.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You were in the bathroom.
Oh, God.
You didn't lock the door for some reason.
Oh, no. This is such a common thing.
It's so you, and I feel like you were peeing backwards for some reason. So I walk in, you were peeing backwards. You were just doing, it was like a very on-brand thing. I walked in, I was like, of course he pees this way.
Peeing backwards mean like, I was like, my ass into the urinal and like,
no, it was a
leg.
regular toilet, but I feel like you would expect to walk into a bathroom and somebody's ass is there as they're peeing. Like, oh, there's an ass, there's an ass, so there's a dick on the other end that is peeing. But you were dick first for me.
So was he like around the toilet?
You were around the toilet, dick first in my direction. And
gotta keep an eye on what's coming.
So the first thing I see, I was like, that's Trapping and Rice guy and his dick. And you had the same thought. So your first words were, that's my dick, man.
It sounds like something a drunk person would do, but there's no way I was drunk.
No way,
then,
dude.
You know?
You were an Edgeman.
Yeah.
You were one of us. We had you on the team there, dude. But to be fair,
probably.
To be fair, since the day I knew you, you were like a weed smells good Edgeman. You know?
Yeah, I've always been a big fan of weed, straight up. Like I smoked weed when I was like a little kid and stuff, and then had like a traumatic life experience that made me be like, all right, I don't want to do that anymore. Sure. You know? Mm-hmm. But yeah, like having the cock out was very on brand. And it's like, dude, I don't know what it is about straight edge people and just like energy. And like, I feel like a lot of my straight edge friends just don't need to turn up. They're like already turned up naturally. And that's a good example of how I was then. It's like, now I like,
you were like, what if I fucking piss backwards?
Yeah.
I'm on some different shit.
Yeah. I'm like so far from that place mentally. I'm like, damn, I want to know what was going through my brain. I think I used to have a thing. I was thinking about this the other day. We were at a truck stop, and like I remember I used to consciously like remove all the fabric from my groin area, and I like wanted people to see my dick like at the truck stop. Not because I'm like super well endowed or it's a macho thing, just like to prove that I don't care.
Like, wouldn't this be crazy if you saw me this way?
I just wanted everybody to see my dick in a legal sense, you know, like in a bathroom stall
in an acceptable way, like it makes sense that a dick is here, and there is one there.
I just wanted people to know I wasn't afraid, you know.
That's it. It's not. It wasn't a sexual thing. It was an absence of fear, which is.
Now I want nobody to see my dick.
Straight up,
amen, dude.
Doesn't even work. Colin, what's the other thing?
The other one is my first. So this is a touring podcast, brother.
Yeah,
that's what it's for, just to share these things. My first U.S. and European tours were with Trapping and Rice.
Dude, special tours.
Very special. That was 2010. So this was Trapping and Rice was.
Do you know what's so funny? Sorry, not to interrupt, but Nails in Harm's Way, 2010 was also in Europe. And I remember seeing your like Twitter. You wrote it on places like your your handle?
Mine?
Yep.
Justice was really proud of me that I did that. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, excellent branding. You were on branding, like you were in branding before anybody else. I feel like what was the fucking app with the video app?
Vine.
Fine.
Colin was like Colin and Will Sasso were like the two first viral Vine.
Dude, and Will Sasso loved me on there.
Really?
Oh yeah, I would see him like liking or commenting. I forget what it was at the time, but I remember being like, "Oh my god, Will Sasso knows who Colin is. I'm basically famous."
I felt the same way. I was like, Will Sasso knows who I am. Justice is basically famous. But those tours, that was at a time where, I mean, I don't know if, I'm sure it was still magical for you, as you'd been a band for 3 years at that point. You have a legendary demo, legendary 7-inch, a legendary LP out. I'm gonna blow some smoke up your inner ass.
I got some smoke later.
Okay.
Too.
Down for smoke all day, dude.
You're getting it. So you're the biggest band in the world at this moment. It's Bane, Trapped Under Ice, Alpha and Omega in Europe. Cruel Hand is there in the States too. So crazy tours for this era.
Wait, was Cruel Hand not
No,
in Europe?
I don't know why.
Somebody from Cruel Hand was in Europe. Maybe they just rolled. I feel like Chris Link was.
He
with
might
us
have been
in Europe,
playing
no?
for Bane, but I don't think he was there.
Maybe I just wanted him to be there. So
be there.
I'll take any opportunity to tour with Chris Link. Dude.
Absolutely. Dude, he had this bit at the time where he was like a karate sensei. Do you remember that one?
Yes. Dude.
On my ki. I can't even describe how funny it was.
Like standing and balancing himself on things that were actually impressive. Like, I don't know, you'd be like at a venue and there'd be like some weird thing high in the air where he'd be balancing on one foot and doing his whole
And like doing an improv like karate sensei whole instruction thing to an audience of 2, you know?
He had to train or something like in karate, you know?
He took at least the beginner class to know the ki stuff and like he had a whole, it was there. But yeah, dude, 2010 the summer was my first US tour.
Yeah, you were a baby.
I was a baby. I was 18 on the first one. And you guys were so sweet to me.
Doesn't that make all the difference in the world?
It really does, man.
It really does, yeah. Yeah.
Probably trying to hit what was going on, you know?
Okay, good to know. You know, I always wondered. But.
I had a conscious thought about that trip when I saw you at Sound and Fury, just because you're physically the biggest I've ever seen you at this point, including when you were, you had your chubby face. You've like outgrown chubby Colin, you know? But
not
just
on
not
the scale,
chubby
but maybe width wise.
Well, I was thinking at the time, there's no way you're lighter than that time. I feel like you're biggest. And I was thinking about you like when I met you and you were like a child, like actual little kid.
Wearing
scrawny even.
Big time. I was like I was a weird little string bean freak, man. And Jared Carmen, one of the most insane, amazing people to ever live, genuinely thought I was autistic on those tours. Because I always was listening to music. Because I was 18. It was like, all right, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to listen to music.
Yeah.
So then, and then one day, I swear to God, Jared in a very Jared way is like, yo, are you like autistic or something? And I was like, I don't think so. But
Not trying to be mean. He just,
no,
Jared.
he's not. There was zero
Yeah.
malice to that question. He just wanted to know. But
are you done?
no,
Or you
please
got
go
more?
on. We'll go in and out of it. You know.
Yeah, of course. I got some smoke for Trapped Under Ice. Possibly the greatest, and one of like 3 great hardcore music videos was the Believe music video.
Oh yeah,
Dude.
That's not really
Is that
cool.
the live
When
one?
it's like live. Seeley's in it. It's fucking rad. I just remember at the time, hardcore bands putting out music videos is always like kind of like, eh. And I'm even considering like our own. It's like, like it's not really something.
That's why
you
there is
wanted-
no God Save video. We just were like, we're
yeah,
too
straight up.
too
I mean,
shy.
They're just like stupid. Like it's dumb. The only cool thing about hardcore is like the live setting. So to be able to bring that into a video and to like pull it off, Genuinely, I think I watched that thing 1,000 times. Wow. Like 1,000 times when it came out.
That's like $8 that you gave.
Straight up. Ad revenue. Yeah. Some resids. Yeah.
That video was made by Sean Cullen, who actually played guitar in Turnstile.
Sean, yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, I think it was like a school project. And I think he actually like had a pretty good idea. And he's like somebody who likes hardcore a lot. And at the time, everything was extreme. And I think that's like, he's like, I want to capture extreme. And we planned the show. It was like a free show. And we just put like cool bands from the area on it and be like, hey, it's free and just pull up. We're going to play. It's going to be crazy. And it was at a venue that allowed crazy stuff to happen, bad stuff to happen. Like people get their ass whooped and stuff. And then everybody knew it's like, oh, this is going to be a video. And Trapped in the Race is kind of hype right now. So we're going to beat the shit out of each other. And really good shots of that happening.
Yeah. How many times did you guys play the song?
I think only twice.
That's pretty good. I've been witness to a couple bands who I don't want to name who did that like at a show that we were all on and played it like 7 times.
Oh my
and
God.
had to do the whole like, hey, move up for this part. Like,
yeah,
you know.
I think after the second shot, I remember I'm certain it was 2 shots because we were all looking at each other being like, yo, people aren't going to survive this. It's going to be bad. Like, it's getting bad. Dude, it was like the first shot was pretty crazy. And the second one, I think people were like, all right.
They needed to do it again. So I guess I got to step it up.
There's like a Young D thing in there. And he's like, you know, one of the most peaceful people in the world. But even he was being.
He was bullying?
Too much, dude. Yeah, it was like everybody was putting on.
Dude, it's the coolest music video ever. Like
coolest song ever.
And yeah, paired with a great song. Like, it's just like a good vibe. I have a bootleg tape, a VHS tape, and I obviously don't have a VCR player, but I have a VHS tape of Youth of Today filming. It's like the behind the scenes of them filming the No More music video, and they play it like 10 times.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Damn. And it's like, it's just, it's crazy that you guys only did it twice, and it looks fucking insane. I love that music video. So there's my smoke.
It's scary. Definitively one of the more dangerous pits I've seen. Another pit I bring up a lot of really dangerous mosh pits was Harm's Way at Rainfest.
Oh yeah. We opened, Colin, with the Strength Beyond Strength.
What year was
breakdown.
this?
It was the year before you were Priests, so I think it was 2000.
I was there. I played with that was Pressure's last show when I played drums and Pressure.
Oh, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Damn.
Leeway played that year.
Yeah, yes they did.
It was like Leeway, Terror, Trapped in the Rise. Yeah,
dude,
that was I remember that.
The mosh pit was pretty aggressive. Like that's like a legendary moment for scary mosh pit stuff. But I remember seeing like that actually. So that not long after that was when Trapped in the Race took a little hiatus, and for me that show was actually one of my reference points of being like, don't get me wrong, like I grew up in the sidebar and like seeing skinhead shit and stout shit and like, you know, just like scary dudes beating each other's asses, and I liked that, and I thought it was like really exciting as a kid, and it like probably saved my life, like wanting to be in this little room and beating the shit out of my friends. I love that. There's a time and place for it, but for Trapped in the Race at the moment, there was like so much of that. And then I have this one image in my head, Harm's Way playing, and this girl got kicked in the nose and her nose split down the middle, and it was like open.
Like 2 noses?
And I could just see everything. Dog, I could see everything. Yeah, like 2 separate noses, and then like all the inside stuff.
Holy
and I was
shit.
like, dude, I never want to see that again. And again, like the Trapped in the Race pit was getting a little more wild. And I was like, yeah, I could take a break from this.
Wow.
You know, like battered. And again, it's like nobody was attacking this woman.
No, of course. Yeah.
She a pit queen for sure. She's down. I've seen her in the pit a lot. But it's just a hard image to swallow.
Yeah, I mean, actual, like obviously injuries, mistakes, actual violence, like are a bummer for sure. I remember.
I'm totally down with all that.
I remember Harm's Way playing upstairs at Charm City, and the only people moshing were you and Sam. It was like early, like No Gods, No Masters era Harm's Way.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
it was cool. Yeah.
Sam's like was such a active member of the pit.
Absolutely.
It's like there's so many bands that came through that me and him loved, and It didn't matter who was down or not. Me and Sam was getting
That's the mark of a great mosher, for one, is just being there all the time. But
and here's your thing.
The mark of, again, the best moshers make the best bands because they just play what they want to hear. Yeah. They know what excites them physically, so they're just going to do that musically. And Sam, he beat ass. I saw it. I've seen it.
Dude, he rocks ass in the pit, and he rocks ass on the guitar. He's such a fucking legend because he just genuinely loves heavy music and what makes you mosh. It's like so interesting. I think of music from a songwriter perspective, and I can show Sam something, and he's immediately he like sees the pit, and he'll be like, "Nah, this ain't it." And he can take and be like, "What you forgot is
the TUI song "Too True." I talked to him at length about it, and he was like, that was a visual song where like the mosh part was completely written only with the visual of like what I wanted to see pit wise. He was not like, okay, here's what I want to achieve music. It was like, okay, here, what pit do I want to see? And it's just his hand. He was like, my hand just did the rest. So and that really just made sense to me. And he was
prolific.
It was prolific. To me at the time, I was like, okay, I think I get it now.
Whoa.
But Sam was the guy where on that tour, like you were too when we got to Europe, but Sam was the first one to be like, what do you like? Like why are you doing this? And then we got along pretty fast because it was like, oh, I just want dun, 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 dun. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
And then it got to, I think it might have been Grand Rapids or somewhere, and you had like food poisoning or something. So you couldn't sing.
Did I? Yeah, of course.
So the whole tour sang for you. Nobody wanted to do Believe, and I didn't know why. So I was like, I'll do it. And that was where all of you guys were like, that was sick. Like, thanks.
Was there a video of that?
I don't know. I've never looked, but maybe.
Yeah, right, dude.
I've never found a video of it. It breaks my heart because I really wanted to come in and see it. You know, I was like, can I come? And everybody was like, no, you're sick. Like, people are going to be bummed if you're in the back of the room. Makes sense.
I saw back like way back, pre being able to drive, went and came into the city and saw American Nightmare with, I don't even remember, honestly, who else. And Wes had like couldn't sing. So people from the tour were singing, but he was just side stage. And it was very much like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Was it a Converge tour?
It was, dude. You know what? I don't remember who else played, but a band called Pelican from here like opened, and I was like a young, I just wanted to like sing along and stage dive. You know what I mean? So Pelican played, and they're like kind of a stonery band. They played like So they played like a 2 or 3 minute song, and then they were like, "Hey, thanks, we're Pelican. We only have 30 minutes, so this next song is 23 minutes long." And I just remember like turning around and going and sitting somewhere in the back, just like being a depressed high schooler who just wanted to like jump off of something.
Yeah, they're more of a sit at home, relax, heavy band.
But you were
cool.
lucky.
There's a place for that.
You were lucky on that show, Justice, because it was like a tour of frontmen.
Dude, it was what a cool. It was like you, Luis, Aaron Bedard sang.
Cam from sang? Cruel Hand sang one.
Oh yeah, I feel like everybody in Cruel Hand sang one.
That one, they were all so cool.
Trapped in a Race. Yeah,
that group of guys in Cruel Hand at that time, like Cam, Nate, that combo. They were a 4-piece, right?
Dude.
No, Seeger was there too, which Seeger's fucking sick.
The ability to stage dive from every member. I feel like the current lineup of Cruel Hand too. Like Cruel Hand just stage dives. Yeah. It's like a requirement.
That's the test.
Yeah,
you can be in, but
still,
you can play.
Can you do a gainer? That was a magical tour. That was where I saw a ghost. You ever see a ghost on tour?
I saw a ghost. You saw a ghost on the tour.
He claimed. Go ahead.
No, I've already talked about it. I don't want to repeat the story on the show, but I saw Katie from Nashville, K80.
K80. Yeah.
There was a ghost in her house. I saw it. She confirmed it, so it's totally real.
I messaged her after that episode and and she did again confirm that there's like a little girl ghost in the house.
And I didn't even talk to her about it, dude, brother. It was like I started to tell her about what I saw, and she finished my sentence.
Yeah.
That's fucked, man.
Yeah.
You ever seen anything like that, Justice? Aliens or ghosts or anything?
I've had some pretty crazy scenarios. I have like sleep paralysis a lot, and there's actually, I want to sound like a hippie. I don't want to get too into my hippie shit.
No, get into it. It's cool.
I have like sleep paralysis, and I'll have like a lot of times where I feel like everybody has this shit. I'm not being like, I'm clairvoyant or shit. Like I'll have, people like visit me in dreams and stuff. And then what gets really scary is like when you have people visit you in a sleep paralysis. So you're like in your home and if somebody pops up and they're like, what's good? Crazy. You're like, it's fucked up,
Do you get sleep paralysis at night or only during like naps during the day?
At night.
Okay.
I've had them. It's been chilling a lot recently. I don't know. I think maybe weed helped that.
Maybe knock on a little wood right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because I don't like it. I'll be honest.
No.
Scary as shit.
It doesn't happen to me too often. It happens if you're heavy. It happens more often. It happens to James all the time in the van.
Really?
In the van, he'll be if he's like sitting shotgun, he'll be sleeping, and he'll just like, huh. And he'll be like, yeah, I couldn't move for the last like 5 minutes or whatever.
I wanna feel it.
Dude, it's the weirdest shit.
Sounds awesome.
I've never seen anything. People will like see stuff or like experience whatever, which I'm sure is like a little dream state, a little just weirdness. And like that creeps me out, but I've definitely napped and just been unable to move, but could see my whole room.
Wow. I never done that. I never had a wet dream either.
I don't think I ever did either.
Dude, those sound so awesome.
Yeah.
It's the best way to wake up, dude.
Cool. You guys are so lucky.
Oh, I've never had one.
Oh.
I've never had one. Wow. That I'm aware of.
I used to have them like constantly. There's a problem.
I was wondering, to bring up American Nightmare again. They had "We Keep the Wet Dream Alive" as a lyric. I don't know what that means.
They're sexy.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
They're so sexy that you're gonna have wet dreams
guys
about them.
are dreaming about him waking up, fucking, and then you gotta do laundry. Yeah, I wish I had one, man.
You'll get there, baby.
I think with sleep paralysis specifically, and maybe wet dreams too, but I do think there's like a spiritual connection of some sort with that kind of stuff.
Oh, brother.
And I've seen like these little instances that make me feel like that. And one in particular, we like stayed in New York, and at the time Cheddar was in the band and Dorian was in the band.
Fucking crazy.
And I fell asleep on the floor, and we were all like kind of creeped out at this house in New York City. And we lay down on the floor, all three of us, to sleep. And I had a sleep paralysis, and I woke up and I saw like a figure in the room, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. But I didn't want to wake nobody up. And then I looked over, and Cheddar was like, man, he's like making weird noises and shaking and shit. And I realized he was having sleep paralysis, and I was like, yo, that's crazy. Should I wake him up or not? And he jumped up. Oh my God. He's like looking around. And then Dorian starts shaking and shit.
No way.
All three of us had sleep paralysis at the same time. And
dude, I bet you Dorian texted Cheddar and was like, hey, do you want to scare him?
That's like the most You're probably right, and I'm just figuring this out right now. But Cheddar's thing was, he was like, I didn't see anything. And again, I did see a figure. And I didn't say anything to anybody right away. But Dorian was the first to be like, there was an old man in the room, dude. Like, I saw him. And I was like, yo, I saw something. But it's just weird.
You know what does happen to me is when that's going on, I hear noises. I hear like the sound. Imagine like a door falling over. I hear like that down the hallway.
Fuck that, dude.
But it's just like your blood pumping. Like it's not. It's like in the moment you're like, holy shit, and then you're like thinking about it and you're like, oh wait, I can hear it again, just really quiet. Because it's my pulse. Like weird. It's fucking weird, man. It's weird shit.
Oh yeah.
You just reminded me though of one of the worst times. Somebody who we don't talk about anymore was touring with us, had a spot for us to stay in New York City. Parking was fine. We got there at like 7 a.m. So the sun was up and it's summer. But we were like, oh, we get to sleep all day. We'll go get some good lunch in New York and then go to the show or whatever. We get in. It's a loft with cement floor with no carpet, just cement. And then there's like a dude attached to the living room. He's got like a little like nook for a computer, just blasting 9 Inch Nails, like 7 a.m. and won't turn.
This is in New York.
In New York,
not Essen, Germany.
Not Essen, Germany. And when asked to turn it down, he said he was like working. He was like working on a paper or something, and he like had to stay up. No headphones, apparently. And then dude was sleeping in girl's bed while all of us were just suffering on the floor.
Oh.
Crazy. What?
Touring can be miserable.
Yeah, you like it now?
It's different. Like I just got back from a trip, and dude, probably a typical response, but like I can feel my body getting older. But at the same time, I've become more proactive in the last couple of years about like functional movement and my body health and stuff. So like I got through it, but like it's hard. Like just like the idea of sitting in the van, I didn't realize how bad. Take 2 years off of touring and then you go back to it, you can see clear as day everything that's fucking you up. And like all my digestion problems are a result of tour. All my fucking back problems I've had in the past are a result of tour. Even my shoulder problems I've had.
Dude, your digestion problems are pretty legendary at this point.
Pretty legendary.
Really? I'm unaware.
Yeah, they're pretty legendary on tour. But like at home, I get into like a thing and I'm good. And I convince myself, I'm like, oh, this isn't a problem anymore. But I have a celiac and lactose intolerant, and then mixed in a little IBS. I'll be shitting.
Yeah, straight up.
You're a fellow soldier of the irritable bowel.
Yeah.
I had an ex-girlfriend who had celiac real bad. She would get like seizures and shit. It was scary.
What the
Very
fuck?
scary, yeah.
Dietary seizures?
Yeah.
At what point do you just... All right, never mind.
Yeah, take it easy, brother. She just got married.
At what point would I just...
Mazel tov,
would
Jenna.
I just... All right. Basically, if I ate McDonald's and had a seizure, I'm fucking killing myself. All right, I'm not. Dude, come on, let's.
One time I was trying to like impress her when we were first dating, and I found a restaurant that had gluten-free pasta. I was like, oh, we'll just go get, it'll be easy. And we sit down, and she orders it, and she starts eating it, and it's there's no noodles, it's broccoli with sauce.
I would have shot you dead in the fucking restaurant.
So it's gluten-free pasta in that there's no. It's like saying, hey, this is a vegan burger, and it's just bread. Like there's nothing to it.
Come on, Zoe.
Celiac is no joke, though. That's no
Zoe's
joke.
here.
Hey, Zoe.
Damn, dude.
Brutus is gonna come up here at some point too. He's been checking
Bring
us
him
out.
up, dude.
He looks nappy.
You're
now.
the original dog guy.
He wants to come up.
The original.
You started dogs, basically, in my mind.
How long you been into dogs?
Spike was like the first dog I ever saw.
Oh yeah, Spike.
What's that? Who's he?
This is Brutus.
Brutus
the barber.
He's sleepy. He's really cuddly. He wants to sleep right now, but he wants to do it right here.
Yeah, straight up.
Maybe he wants.
What's better than that? Yeah, keep him in there.
It's interesting to hear that you've recently become more, I guess, self-aware of like your body, like taking care of your body and stuff, because you've always been like a beefy boy.
Yeah, you're the OG fitness guy. You did the squat rack video,
Started a lot of things.
Yeah. You killed melodic hardcore.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it coming back?
I think I'm not annoyed by it, because at the time it was like everybody was trying to do it and everybody's trying to do it so bad. Now there's like a couple of bands that are doing it and doing real well. Like One Step Closer, for example, was like, I fuck with that. I respect that shit, but at the time it was just fucking out of control and everybody sucked and they thought they needed special treatment for making trash.
True.
You know what else it is right now is, and I say this liking quite a few of them, but like hardcore dudes playing actual death metal is like the new.
Yeah.
You think that's the new melodic hardcore?
I mean, kind of.
That's the new like, I don't know. Beatdown is just like we skip beatdown and we're just playing.
We just play
dismember shit.
Yeah,
which like it's working.
Like I said, I'd rather that than fucking verse clones. Don't get me wrong. Like either way,
you are.
Yeah,
you're preaching right now.
Yeah.
What bands in that lane do you think deserve the pass? Like who really is owning that lane
right now?
Yeah.
I mean, other than One Step Closer.
No, I'm the metal.
I really dig 200 Stab Wounds. I think they're very good.
Oh, they
I
kick
like
ass,
sing.
too.
I like.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't know if they were like in that, or if they were just more as like a straight, just like death metal weirdos, because
they're all core dudes.
They've spin kicked in their life.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, they're incredible.
Yeah.
Sanguisugabog, they be spin kicking.
Big time. What did Corpse Grinder call them again?
What?
I forget. Did you see that tweet that Corpse Grinder called them like Sudafed Botox or something on stage?
No. Have you seen the Cannibal Corpse American Dad mashup?
No.
Dude, it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I'll put it in.
Yeah, please.
Here it is.
Good morning, USA. I got a feeling that it's gonna be a wonderful day.
Here it is.
That was incredible.
Who else? I like Frozen Soul personally.
Yeah.
It's just like kind of bull throwery, and I dig the like snow, like live they like spray like fake snow.
That's fucking
Oh
awesome.
man, that's cool.
Like that's sick. Like I can get behind that. You know what I mean? But I don't want it to be like a thing where there's like all of a sudden 20 in a year.
Yeah. Is it my time to go death metal?
Dude, I would love that.
Are you a death metal guy?
So I've always been. I've actually talked to Taylor about a lot about this. I'm like a death metal poser, but very intentionally. Like with hardcore, I've like submerged myself, and in a lot of cases, it enriched my life, and in some cases, it like bummed me out. Like you meet the dude in the band that you grew up loving, and he's a loser, and it's like crippling. It sucks. Dude. I'm a fan. So I've always like tried to keep death metal kind of distant, and like I've started to like write death metal music on guitar, and then I'm like, I gotta back off. Like I'm figuring it out, and I don't want to spoil it for me. I like just to be blown away by some shit.
It's like you don't want to start wrestling because then you'll know what they're doing. That's what happened to me, and it's the same thing.
So you're saying it ruined death metal for you?
No, not
or ruined
wrestling. No, oh, well, there's certain things where I'll be like, oh, that he's choking him right now because they're tired.
Right.
Like they're resting, and which I get. You gotta. I'm tired too. I'm tired right now. I need to rest right now. Why don't you fucking choke me? But with death metal, it's crazy to realize that's the actual hardest music ever.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like Hatebreed is just death metal.
Their best
like,
Hatebreed stuff is like, they're like,
yeah.
hey, let's use this part from this song.
Yep.
So
incredible. Dying Fetus. Oh, unbelievable. Dying Fetus wrote every good breakdown ever.
Dude. They're all taken. And then you talk to them and they're like, yeah, this is a death threat part.
Right. Yeah. Dude, so cool. I remember reading a thing that Obituary talked about Master Killer being like a big influence for them.
One of them manages Marauder. Yeah.
I love that.
Maybe not currently, but like very recently.
Maybe not.
That's cool.
Maybe not currently. Yeah. So cool.
I would like to start. There's some death metal OGs. I'm back in Baltimore now. We got some death metal rockers around here, and I've like humored the idea of being like, we should rip, we should make some shit.
You Dying Fetus, and Next Step Up as one band.
That'd be sick.
How long were you in California? You're out there for a minute.
7-8 years.
Yeah.
A little over
78 years.
Maybe.
Wow.
78
You
years.
look great.
Yeah.
And is it good to be home? I don't want to. I'm not trying to pry.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I came out here for like the specific reason of like, like being with friends and family, and like, never did I have people say like LA's better. It's like, duh. It's like fucking LA.
Paradise.
It's like got all the shit. But there's like things here that pertain to me.
Yeah.
Like it's like I'm from Baltimore. Like this is very much who I am. So it's like very comfortable for me. It's a happy place, and I've been very productive since I've been here. It's like interesting. Like I almost like have been bred and taught to thrive in this kind of environment. Like in LA, it's like there's so much going on, and I get like real ADD and have trouble focusing, and then like I'm off seeing this friend and doing this, and then trying to do writing sessions and stuff like that. Here it's like I'm just gonna sit down and make my music, and that's what's most important to me. and then I'm gonna go spend time with friends and like more small town stuff. But Baltimore's in a really cool place right now. It's like more inspiring than it's ever been. It's like shows are cracking.
Come Town really changed Baltimore, man.
I don't know if I don't know what Come Town's influence is, but I can see that. I'm sure they've
they changed the perception of, you Trapped Under Ice and Come Town are maybe the two biggest, most influential things from Baltimore.
I don't know if you've heard of Turnstile.
I have the other one, but I'm
I think I've heard of that.
But I'm talking about inspiration. Would there be a Turnstile without Trapped Under Ice?
Without Come Town, would there be a Trapped Under Ice?
Oh, 100% no, dude.
Yeah. I've never listened. I listened to an episode of Come Town and I was like, this is just chaotic. I can't do it. I don't really do podcasts, but I will say individually, all of those.
Yeah, they're all funny.
They're all hilarious. So I've like watched all their stand up and little separate things they do. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Stavi. He's a legend.
I can't believe he doesn't acknowledge you. He don't follow you back, man.
I need some respect, dude. I think he's more of a fool, like, because I lived in Greektown for a long time. Trapped Under Ice was a Greektown band.
Ooh.
So we're two of Greektown's largest
biggest
representatives,
exports.
I think. Yeah. But he be around, like, fools will like show me like, oh, he bought his house from a member of Trapped Under Ice.
Oh.
Fucking Tony Hare was like filling in for us at the time, playing guitar for us kind of a lot. And I'm pretty sure that's where he bought his house from, Tony Hare.
I just played a show with Benji's new band.
Benji
from Trapped Under Ice. He lives in the Bay.
I never think of him as Benji. That's always just Ben.
He reintroduced himself to me as Benji, and I was like, "You are Ben.
Yeah.
You're in Trapped Under Ice."
Yeah, I know he does Benji, but I always think of Riding Out when
that's the king of Benjis, dude.
That is the Benji for sure.
I love him.
But Ben Esparza, that's what I can call Ben. He's the king of Ben Esparza's. There'll never be another.
He played on Death Clock Ticking, so
he's played on a lot of cool
things.
Something, He's a cool drummer. He's freaky.
I love. What's up with that one? You got to bring it back.
No, but we've played it.
Re-record it.
Interesting.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Come on,
yeah, interesting.
What would new Trapped Under Ice sound like to you? What would you make?
What would I make?
Trapped Under Ice.
Okay, so I think that you were headed towards a balance of you being a sick fucking freak, doing your freaky deaky thing, and so what's crazy is on Heatwave, the song dun, 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 dun. I remember that from that 2010 tour, because that was a Big Kiss Goodnight demo.
Really?
Yeah.
And
we have a caller.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
So that was on the like demo. Like you showed me the whole pre-pro for the record, and it was like, okay, this is gonna change music. But I remember that part, dun, 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 being like the thing that the whole band was universally the most excited about. And then it wouldn't come out for 7 more years or something.
Ain't that some shit?
It is, man.
That was like so when we recorded Big Kiss Goodnight, we had everybody got a card, like a my voice matters more than everybody else's card. Everybody gets one, and they were all used against me. They were all used to break my heart. And maybe it's for the best because Big Kiss Goodnight did really well.
It didn't need that song. Like,
yeah.
But,
my two favorite songs got cut, and they were both somebody's, like, their one and only above everybody. What would you call that? Like a
veto, just like the ultimate veto. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, yo, I like had a heart to heart with the person. I was like, how could you do that?
What did you use? What did you veto?
I think mine was a song that we were working on, and I was having trouble writing vocal stuff to it. And I just felt like it was a great song. It's just far from what I could do, and I didn't feel inspired because it's so far from me.
Yeah.
And there's something that nobody's ever heard, never came back. And the funny thing is, like, with Heatwave, some of those songs are songs that got vetoed from Big Kiss Goodnight for being too heavy. But then when Heatwave comes out, people are like, yo, these songs aren't as heavy as Big Kiss
Right.
Goodnight. It's like, it's literally the songs we cut because they were too heavy. Production was so much different.
It comes down to production and just like the vibe at the time. You know, you have the cherries on the front. People are like, they're clouded. Their judgment is clouded by all the other factors. And Angel Dust exists at this time and is thriving. So they hear you. They hear Angel Dust Justice because that, like, the singers evolve, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You can't do.
My thing is this: everybody's a music critic, and nobody can pinpoint that. They can't say, okay, I'm not as into this because Justice is like softer now or whatever, however they perceive me.
Yeah.
Or there's cherries on the cover, so I'm not into this. Or the songs are shorter, I'm not into. That's fine. But you get people making definitive statements, and not this. This is a criticism, but it's not like beef or anything. I'm not upset about this. But another podcast talks a lot about that stuff, about Trapped Under Ice specifically. And on that podcast, they said definitive things. Like, it's definitively not as heavy. It's like, no, it's definitively produced different. There's definitively cherries on the cover.
Yeah.
Definitively, I'm an Angel Dust. You can't say it's not as heavy. It is. The idea is the songs were like shorter and packed in more. And that does take away an element of heaviness, I guess, because you have less build up into a moment.
Tell music.
Right.
A story. But that's fucking satisfaction. That's lowest of the low. You know what I mean? Like, those records are special because, and Trapped Under Ice never had that, the short, fast songs. So that's what we were going for with that. And the other thing they said a lot on that podcast was that it failed. The record failed. It didn't succeed. Well, what a success. That record outsold any other Trapped Under Ice record. And with that,
did it really?
Yeah. With that, it outsold most hardcore records ever recorded. You know, so it's
right.
like,
Yeah, right.
definitively very successful. Just it didn't fit. And that's what people need to say when the people who are music journalists or people who are reviewing music, I think they need to like back off of their perception and talk about what music is and what is reality. Because you painted a picture where I put out some shitty record that didn't do well and I can't write riffs I'll out riff any motherfucker. Right? Plus, I got Sam Trapkin in the pocket, dude. Like, that fool's just sitting. He's on deck at home right now, just evil riffs all day. But it's like, I did it. I already did that.
Right.
Prove it. You know, it's like not like making music, and I would love to make heavy music at some point, but it's just not.
I need it, man. I need more from you.
He's got more. You got more in the tank.
Dude, I write shit all the time, but you know, it's like very focused on other things, and I don't have really the time or energy to like invest in starting like a new band from scratch. And
well, thank God you have this other legendary band that you don't have to scratch from. You can just do more.
Yeah, true. I mean, Trapped Under Ice isn't going to be active anytime soon, which is equally it's a bummer.
Breaking news, by the way.
Yeah,
HardLore exclusive.
HardLore exclusive.
I think most people have figured out by now that Trapped Under Ice isn't active.
It'll be back.
I'd like to play some shows, and I don't want to be that band that's like 10 years down the road.
Yeah.
Still playing shows on some old shit. Like, we have sauce. Another interesting thing with Heatwave that I like there was like a whole game plan with doing like a second record, like soon after Heatwave, that was more Sam centric, where Sam was like building those songs that I think are more what a classic TUI fan might expect structurally. And that just didn't happen because life happened.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's like,
I feel.
but
So when you first told me like we're doing more songs, we're gonna do a 7-inch. I begged and pleaded with you. I said, do an LP, brother. The people need an LP. So
yeah,
I don't know if you heard me, and that's why Heatwave exists. But what you were saying before about kind of removing yourself from music reminds me of a story where Stickman was recording vocals for Wisdom in Chains, like doing a guest part, and he's doing the part, and he's like he's full Stickman, you know, one of the greatest of all time, and it's like not what Joe was hearing. So Joe is like across the window going, you know, and then Stickman goes like, how are you gonna like this? I make the rhythm, you know,
Right.
This is my rhythm. And that I think about that all the time when somebody's like, you're off key or you're off beat. I'm like, brother, that's my beat.
Yeah.
I decide what is on and off.
Yeah, right.
And that like
That's
Stickman is so prolific like that, you know?
that might be the most inspiring thing I've heard.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Justice, you remember? Do you remember the show? One of the greatest book shows ever that no one was at in West Texas that we both played.
Oh yeah, holy shit! I wouldn't say nobody was there. It was kind of lit.
It was
for a big little
people.
DIY
People
spot.
were there because 10 bands played.
Yeah.
Dude,
it wasn't like a 10-band audience, but
yeah, right, yeah, yeah, exactly. It was Trapped Under Ice, Terror, Backtrack, Take Offense, Harm's Way, and then it was like 100th Straight from the Path. I think were like the two bands that were kind of outliers.
So it was our tour, which was Backtrack, 100th, Take Offense, and Betrayal.
Betrayal, yeah, they played too.
Betrayal, dude.
That's right.
Shakewell. Shout out.
Kale, dude. Kale was born in Betrayal.
Oh, really?
Be Kale.
Dude, Kale was a monster on that tour, dude. He was just like killing the drums, and he was so young, his energy was out of control.
Absolutely.
And that tour, we had like an off day in like Lubbock, Texas or something, somewhere at the Pine Box. I have I thought about this because I have like the screen printed flyer hanging.
It was
up
in
because
Lubbock?
It's like, it was in Lubbock or
I think Lubbock, yeah.
yeah, someplace.
Is the Pine Box that bar? That's like
Wasn't a
has
bar.
Two big sections.
But it was, you know, it was. We were on the Acacia Strain tour with them, Terror, Stray, and us. But the Acacia Strain didn't jump on this show, so it was like the two tours kind of like combined, and it was fucking awesome. But like, probably paid maybe 40 people.
Yeah, but that was so sick because of all the band members there.
It was all band members. Like, yeah, that's all it was. It was cool. It was a lot of fun.
That's why I felt so packed. I have this like memory of, I'm like, it was definitely more packed than that, but it was like probably 70 people in the band.
That's exactly. That's what I'm saying. It was like, and then we took that was a fun one. Just this one show that could have been a fucking fest, honestly.
Speaking of which, tell me about the 10 for 10 tour, Justice.
Oh yeah.
Man, that was, I hate the marketing thing. And everybody wants to make videos and like promote it, be like, 10 bands, $10. What could go wrong? You're like, what else could you want? It's like, they're like hitting us up nonstop, being like, we need promo videos. And they had like people like at the shows, like with cameras, so we could keep promoting it.
Yeah.
The concept is really
Great
cool.
concept.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
yeah. So it's 10 bands for $10, which is weird
Fucking
marketing, but it's,
what a deal.
Yeah.
I know. What a deal.
How does that add up? Like, does the math work there?
No.
There was, I think there's, no, I think everybody did good. Like, I think financially it was chill because, you know, for a lot of us, we were still new bands and we weren't used to making money. So I remember the offer was like good. I think we got offered like $400 a day. And at that time that was unheard of.
Yeah, totally.
It's weird now because I know young bands that go on tour and they get, you know, like their first tour, it's $250 a day.
But
I'm like,
it
that's
has to be now.
It has
Yeah,
to
it
be.
has to be.
We
now,
paid
yeah.
the price so that they can go to KFC, you know?
Dog, Trapped Under Ice toured for like 10 years making $100 and like
100%.
7 venues out and like killing it and just being like, yo, made $100. This is crazy. We're rich.
Straight
We're
up.
paid as fuck. We might be able to get a hotel this night.
Dude,
Just
on
get it
like a
flat.
250 or 300 night, it was like, holy shit, dude.
Oh, we're the biggest band in the world.
Biggest band ever. And you just look at the math of the 10 for 10 tour, you know?
Yeah. Let's think about
Like
it.
the Glass House, for example,
If they got $400, that's 40 people
40 people.
before the venue cut or anything.
So the Glass House, there was I feel like how many of those shows sold out realistically?
All of them. Oh, I think there's one show that did like kind of did bad,
Okay.
but it's like a weird
But other
area.
than
Like
that-
it was like Louisiana somewhere. I don't think it was New Orleans. I think it was like somewhere in Louisiana. It was kind of weird and cutty. And I remember being like, damn, it's crazy that there's not people who want to pay $10 to come to the hardcore show.
So
Every other show I think was sold
was
out.
the lineup kind of rotating, or who was on that?
So-
Terror.
Terror, Madball, let's think here. Bane, Vision or Disorder on a couple
Insane.
shows. Angel Dust, Mongoloids.
Angel? No,
there's like some
Traveler
weird.
X. You said Angel Dust.
Yeah, that's what I said. I like.
Poison the Well, Madball, Bane, Vision of Disorder sometimes. Terror.
Oh, you got to pull it up.
Death Before Dishonor, War of Ages, Crying Stereo.
Dude.
There was some definitely Christian metalcore. Is that War of Ages was Christian metalcore?
Sounds right.
And I think there's another one to where it was like, and it was cool. Like, it's just far from my wheelhouse.
Yeah, of course.
It was definitely like a clash of worlds. I don't want to put nobody's name on this, but it's like a funny relationship that I always think about with that tour. There was somebody on that tour who was in a band that's like just scary gang guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he lost his shoes. He had some Vans that got lost. And he started like, he found somebody, I want to say in War of Ages, or one of the metal bands that were a little more outlier, but maybe it was War of Ages. I don't want to put it on him, but one of those bands. And he like punked this dude for his shoes all crazy. And I've never seen, it was like jailhouse behavior. I've never seen this before. He started making the dude like hold his pocket and stuff. And it was like this little skinny dude on the tour. And he like would like be walking, you see him like walking around like backstage, and the dude be like holding his pocket and like rubbing his feet for like the duration of the rest
like
of the tour.
Whole tour.
Yeah, and there was like nothing anybody could say about it because just these two worlds collided, and that's what it is. Like, you holding a pocket now because you wanted to play aggressive music and steal some scary guy's shoes.
Did he did steal the shoes?
He'd be like, "Hey, dog, it's time for a kiss." Like, he like kiss in his face and stuff. It was crazy. Jailhouse shit, dude. Like,
you know what's that what an era, man.
Yeah, there ain't nobody holding a pocket on tour anymore. It's not.
Okay, Glass House, 800 cap.
800 caps. That's $8,000.
$8,000, which is not a lot to gross.
They're sponsors.
Oh,
okay, they're sponsors.
That's it.
Okay, there you go.
So let's say the sponsors do another, like, I'm just guessing, like another couple thousand on that show.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Like
then.
12,000 in guarantees, and then like I know even some of the bigger bands took a hit, like they made less, for it.
Just to do the coolest looking tour ever.
Yeah.
What time would that shit start? Like
4?
Vision.
4?
When would they? Yeah, 4 o'clock.
Yeah, maybe.
I went to the Glass House one. It was awesome.
The Glass House show was crazy. I remember seeing some ass whippings outside.
Absolutely.
Do you know anything about that?
No, but that was par for the course, brother.
Dude, that was LA. Like, coming to anything in California, especially LA, but anything in California, it's weird now. California is a huge hardcore scene, and you know, there's definitely scary people involved. But for the most part, it's like a really good vibe. And as long as you're not being a troublemaker, you don't have to deal with the scary people. But it was every single time I came to California, there'd be like beatings and stabbings and shit. And I was like,
I would say whoopings now are like, every time you'll be like, why did that happen? And they'll tell you, and you'll be like, man,
good reason.
You did a really good thing doing that. You know, like it's pretty appropriate.
Fools were getting it for no reason back in the good reason, at least.
Yeah,
you know?
it was wild. Different time.
Oh, yeah, different time.
Different time.
Oh yeah,
better time.
I remember when Blacklisted first played Chicago, and like all the Philadelphia dudes came with them and just like demolished the room. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, hey, this band is cool. Like, there was oh man.
Blacklisted.
Dude, imagine the headspace. And I've been to the sidebar. You know, I spent a lot of time there when I was a kid. And definitely part of the experience is I'm going to get whooped. Like, I've had my nose broke 100 times. My teeth aren't gold because I think it's cool. It's because I'm tired of getting punched out of my fucking head, you know?
It's pure function. It's not for any other reason.
But it's like, just imagine some of the conversations, like going, hey, let's all get in the van and go to Chicago and just tear it up.
Kill Chicago, yeah.
Fuck people up.
That was it. That was literally the conversation, too.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh, Blacklist is playing this fest. Like, let's go, kind of a thing. Yeah. And just, I was a child. I was 15.
Dude, Philly was so unhinged when I was a kid. Like, we're real close to Philly. And Baltimore is crazy, too. But it's like we got a lot of skinheads and like, just like psycho weirdos. But I feel like when I was a kid, Philly was the place. This is what I remember thinking, oh, I don't go to Philly because I'm going to get stabbed. Because every time, like, when the old heads from Baltimore would go to Philly, somebody come back stabbed. Like, hey, we got a fight, and I got the new thing here. I was like, damn, I'm trying not to go to Philly. I'm going to get stabbed.
I don't think, can you, here's a question. Can you remember the most frightened you've ever been in a pit?
Dude, death threat in Connecticut.
That's scary. Sounds about right.
and my second is probably 100 Demons in Connecticut. Yeah. And then my third would probably be death threat in New York City. just there's like a different breed of person. And I say this as one of those people. Like I like Death Threat is the band that made love hardcore. Like I liked Hatebreed. I was like, this is cool. And I went and saw Hatebreed and Death Threat was playing in Baltimore. And those dudes were just like super nice to me and like treated me. I was like a little kid. I had, you know, some friends, but I was like the little annoying kid that everybody was like a little mean to, even if you were my friend. Mm-hmm. Death Threat made me feel like, I don't know, like an individual. And they were like, I just remember they being so cool and nice to me. And I was like, I really like this, but I was poor. I like grew up in like a Section 8 house, and I probably was still living Section 8 at that time. And they gave me a CD because there was no way in God's green earth I could afford a CD. Like a friend definitely paid to get me into the show. And their band was good. And I was like, damn, this is for me. And like the neighborhood I'm from, like all the kids were obsessed with Death Threat. It was like fucking the biggest band in Essex.
I mean, Death Threat had and has the Hatebreed intensity, but with the like youth of today message.
Damn.
So it's like it's just it's all world. There's no sub genre of hardcore that can't hear Death Threat and be like, there's something for me here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would tour like that too. They would play with some like kind of like I guess youth crew-y type bands, and it would work.
Because half the song is that.
Never thought about that.
And then
never
it's
thought
fucking.
But in like drop
in
B,
drop
dude.
B.
Is it actually drop B?
I mean, it's either drop or standard, but it's in beat for sure.
Fuck, dude.
I asked because I remember when Blacklisted would cover Life of Agony. Blacklisted was ahead of the curve like a ton. Mm-hmm. Both in like, dude, they would do like noise with like the pedal loopers in between songs, which like we directly ripped off immediately from them. They would cover stuff, singing, like George would do singing and stuff. But they covered fucking River Runs Red in Chicago one time at Knights of Columbus, and it was the most horrifying thing. Because I hadn't even heard Life of Agony yet. It was like early. You know, it was before that kind of thing was really like common for people to know about.
What year was that? Did you say?
I remember I was with my first girlfriend, so either freshman or sophomore year of high school.
Wow.
So 2003.
That's early. That's early for Life of Agony in like modern world.
That's what I'm saying is like, dude, Blacklisted was like weirdly ahead of the curve, like a lot.
Absolutely.
And not like a super hard band when you go back and listen to the track. There are parts, but
until the parts.
Until the
like,
part.
Shit.
I definitely saw some bloodshed. I would say,
dude.
What?
Eye for an Eye.
Eye for an Eye.
Yeah, I mean that's an all-time track for sure.
That's the evilest track. It's crazy.
Remember the fucking Dead Man's Hands?
Of course.
Splits, Terror Ringworm, which was incredible.
Oh yeah.
Blacklisted, First Blood, and then Suicide File HopeCon.
Yeah. There was almost a fourth one with Code Orange, Switching Tongues.
There was almost a fourth one with Code Orange in Harm's Way.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Somebody lying.
Let's revive it. I'm sure we could talk to some people and get it going.
Dead Man's Hand. That's some pirate shit though, right?
But I gotta be on the track.
Easy.
Yeah, you could be on the track.
Like if y'all do it like an Eye for Eye, I gotta be the Joe Hardcore on the track.
Yeah, that's right.
Scariest Pits.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's probably something like Hoods at some point.
I believe that.
I remember the Killer covered Slayer. They covered South of Heaven once, and that was really scary too.
That does sound
Killer
scary.
covering Slayer in Chicago.
Yeah, at Knights of Columbus.
Dog.
Yeah.
I don't want no part of that.
That is unsafe.
With some like key Boston bands there at the same time. So it was like actually horrifying.
South of Heaven.
Man.
Swear to God.
That is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. In like a cool way. That's the coolest thing ever.
So you have to remember this show. It was I want to say Harm's Way played it, but it was Trapped Under Ice and The Killer played for sure at the Knights of Columbus Hall. But I'd imagine if you didn't play, you would have been there. But Luke's daughter sang.
We were on tour. Yeah, we were out of town, but I remember that. Yeah. Cece.
Dude, I think it's interesting because like with music, you kind of see that sometimes they have a kid and like, you know, like this guy who plays folk music might be like, my kid can come here and sing a song.
Yeah.
But this is The Killer in Chicago.
Yeah, right.
And his daughter was like maybe 10 at the time.
Yeah.
And she like fully understands this shit. She's not like, this isn't alien to her. It's not like, it's not weird. It was like seeing like a hardcore singer that happened to be 10.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like young Freddy in the fucking screwdriver shirt. Yeah.
And it was like grown men just beating the shit out of each other, dude. Like, he was so committed. And I was like, dude, that's the most dangerous and safe, protected 10-year-old girl on the face.
We gotta ask
People
Luke,
used
what's
to-
she doing now? She needs a band.
They're grown. They're like high schoolers
Yeah.
now. He's got 2 daughters.
He's the
not
man.
10. Luke rocks. And back in the day,
Friend
like
of the
when-
show. Luke
friend of the
from
show,
Killer.
Luke Gray. He used to, it was like MySpace back in the day, like when she was born. That's whatever it was posting on.
Yeah.
And he would post pictures like holding her on a swing set, and all the comments would be like, "God, I would hate to be her first boyfriend," or like like anything like along those lines.
Yeah. A tough dad to have to date into.
Yeah.
So Angel Dust comes around a few years after you've been ruling the world. People moshing, killing each other left and right. You're doing something different outside of the box for what people expect from you. First tours with Twitching Tongues, so hey, it all comes back, brother.
Yeah,
Turnstile
really?
too, yeah. Turnstile, Angel Dust, Twitching Tongues.
It's a wild tour. Down presser.
Downpresser, Stigmata. A lot happened. Yeah. Oh, complete coincidence. And now here you are. That's your main gig, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't look at anything as a gig. I just like do what I do. Like I like bake stuff. And I'm fortunate that people like pay attention to what I do, and but like I'm always open to doing other things. Like I'm not like that was a thing for me. I feel like Trapped Under Ice, like people saw me as Trapped Under Ice. Like that's like literally it'd be that. Like
I definitely did. Full transparency. Like I definitely thought like you were only hard dude, only into that kind of music at all. So when I first heard Angel Dust, I was like very surprised.
Yeah. It's understandable, but it's also like like we go on tour and like people would be like, hey, we found 3 other bands that sound just like Trapped Under Ice to open for you guys. You're gonna love it. And I'd be like, what the fuck makes you think I want to hear that?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't want to hear a single band that sounds like Trapped Under Ice. And then like when you start branching out, it's like people are like, what is he doing? He's fake. And it's like, I'm just doing music that I like, and it's weird because like hardcore is so much a piece of who I am, and heavy music it's like definitive. I am a hardcore fan. It's hard to like hide that, and I think that's what makes Angel Dust authentic, is that I do wear that on my sleeve. And the other members of Angel Dust, past and present, are all involved in the hardcore scene. We had a point where it was like Turnstile guys are so busy, and how am I going to play shows as Angel Dust? And the only thing that would make sense is if somebody was somehow involved with hardcore music, punk music, and gets the whole thing, So some parts.
Is Taylor
to it. It's not as
Madison
simple.
in the band now?
It's kind of like the vibe is like whenever he wants to do it. He's got a lot of stuff going
He's
on.
the best.
And dude, he's incredible. But yeah, it's like the tour we just did, it was like Super Heaven was out on the West Coast, and I was like, hey, you're gonna be on the West Coast, you gonna play these shows? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. He's gonna come record with us too.
Oh, cool.
Gonna record a record pretty soon. And it's cool. Like my team is like all writing music, and with the Turnstile guys, like they were so busy for a long time. It was kind of I was driving a ship.
Yeah.
And sometimes they could be passengers, sometimes they couldn't.
Mhm.
And it's cool. They're still gonna be part of it. They're still in the ship.
Good.
Way less.
Yeah.
They've got a fucking yacht they're running,
Yeah.
Yeah, whole fucking yachts. I'm like, you guys want to hop on the fucking the front of the
schooner?
kayak or whatever?
Yo,
Yeah.
do you remember the worst stage dive I ever did during Angel Dust in Atlanta?
No, I don't.
Colin. It was in the middle room at the old Masquerade, at the old Purgatory, and there's like a wooden like a lip kind of at the front of the stage, like those like 1/2 foot little wooden rails. So I was running a stage dive from the stage, and I like went to plant my foot on the thing, but I slid and I just like into the lip and just like laid there and looked at Pat and was just like in a pile. It was so fucking
How
embarrassing.
could you do that to them?
I don't know. I don't know.
Worst stage dives are. I've been responsible for a worst stage diver too. You know. So,
I've almost never been caught. I don't know if
Like
you remember
caught-
that.
caught?
Yeah, like no, like
I'm
received
not catching you.
at all.
Big ass come jumping at me. I'm taking off. I'm going the other direction. I'm one of those guys. I'm like,
No, I'm a catcher, dude. I'll catch a foot. I don't care. I caught Bo with my neck, dude. Straight up, like, damn near killed me. But on that European tour, I don't know what my fucking obsession was with these goddamn dives. That was when I was doing the full on like arms out swan dive into nobody. Every time, dude. I never was caught. So like, I'm wondering now, like, why does a different body part hurt like every hour? My body parts alternate pain, and I think it all goes back to that. Just like, no Polish guy caught me, no German guy caught me.
the Polish guys will catch you. I don't believe Polish guys are. I
think only one of the Poland shows were good.
Even
was it that tour?
Yeah, it was
that in
tour.
itself is a feat.
I've never played a Poland show that wasn't one of my favorite shows of all time.
Well, okay, one of them was only me and Franz. Do you remember that one?
Was it the weird like tattoo fest thing?
Was it a fest?
There was like a weird tattoo fest we played that was just a show.
Maybe, yeah. It was, and there was like I just remember being in the green room upstairs and my MacBook charger like actually exploding. That's what I remember from that. But also, that was the only time you played Too True on the tour. Yeah. So me and Franz were like, to the point where like I swear, like the minister of Poland was like asked to ask us to stop. You know,
please.
Yeah, we beg of you.
Dude, how incredible was Franz on the road? Like that fool. He was like tour managing us and doing merch, and then he would like mosh for every
song.
Yeah, for every band, and somehow like somebody at the merch table, he'd mosh and run or sell merch, and he'd back in the pit and doing his thing. And he's like, he still has that energy.
Yeah.
Where he's just like,
I think we met him when he was in Triceratops. Like,
oh wow,
like when he was drumming in one, like we played Legion of Doom in Columbus, and he was like, we stayed at his house. He was like one of the first people we met from Ohio.
He's one of my favorite underutilized drummers. Like a drummer that some people don't even know he plays drums, and he gets back, he's like good.
I've never seen him play drums. I've known him for 12 years.
Yeah, he keeps it secret, and then he hops back there and he can do the thing, dude. He's awesome.
So there's 3 drummers. Can Pat play drums at all?
It's kind of a ongoing joke that I don't know if it's a joke or it's serious at this point, but Pat swears him down he can play drums, and he's like, they got the drum chat, like the drum guys
and he's
chat,
in it?
and he's always talking about the drum guys chat. And I'm like, Doug, I've never seen you play drums. He's like, I play drums, dude. Like, but you never know.
I play
Pat,
drums, dude.
Yeah, like, I've played drums. It don't mean I can do it.
Man, I love him. Gotta have him on.
Justice, what's your on the road diet looking like these days?
Oh, brother, it's a joke.
Nice.
So I have like, some allergies and some things I can't have. And then on top of that, I'm trying to eat clean. So,
how?
But it's
the fucking egg salad
really
sandwich
bad.
So
when you go to the gas station, they'll have like 2 boiled eggs, like in a
You're
bag.
getting the boiled egg.
I get the boiled egg all the time.
You guys are keeping the boiled egg operation running?
Dude, Sheetz has the beet red one. Those ones are so fucking good.
Yeah. My gas station stop is 4 to 6 hard-boiled eggs, and then like maybe 1 or 2 bags of the pickles, like the weird pickle bags.
those are good.
Yeah. Those are good. The snap.
Yeah.
Those are good.
Well, they start good, but then I'm getting to the point where I'm like, it's like fucking with my brain a little bit. It's getting hard to stomach them.
There's an actual like scientific term for that called diminishing marginal utility. That's a whole other thing we can get into. You know when you're eating a burrito, and that first bite, you're like, "This is the best moment of my life," and then the last 3 or 4, you're like, "This is not what I was eating 5 minutes ago."
It's never happened to me before in my life.
Okay, well,
you guys don't smoke pot, but pot is really good for that. Like every single bite is better than the last.
I can't.
And also,
even
when you smoke pot, you're like, I need some garlic salt in this burrito. You start putting weird things. I need some ketchup in this, like anything that you want in a burrito. Enhance.
When did you break edge?
So my relationship with straight edge is kind of a weird thing. Like I had just a moment where I was like, I don't want to get high or drink or whatever. And then, as a young person, everybody's like, oh, you're straight edge. And then as you get older, you realize that it's like, this is a thing that people are really committed to. So I've kind of always taken a stance of being like, yo, like I'm down with straight edge, but I'm not straight edge like y'all. So I don't got like straight edge tattoos and stuff. Let me also say that I really love and admire straight edge because my personal relationship with straight edge, definitely like, dude, everybody I grew up with is on drugs. Do you know what I mean? Like most everybody. And a lot of my friends like overdosed and gotten in a lot of trouble and stuff. And like very close to me, it's like, it's everybody. And I don't think it's a coincidence that I avoided that. Like hardcore and straight edge is like what, and it's like, I think it's the coolest thing. Like if I like meet young people that are straight edge, I'm like so excited. I want to talk to them about it. And like, I know how much it's going to give them if they really commit to that lifestyle, but I've always had problems with anxiety. And when I was a kid, I was medicated. And around the time I moved to LA, I was like having trouble with anxiety. Yeah. And it was like pretty overwhelming, pretty crippling. Like couldn't leave the house.
Are there things that you get, like specific things that you get anxious about, or is it just like they don't have my fucking donut at the place? I can't.
Okay. Just wake up anxious. Any weird interaction that like doesn't feel whole and complete.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's bad. Like I was definitely medicated when I was a kid, and as an adult, I was like, I don't want to be one of these fools that like. I can be straight edge and like take all these weird medicines that make me a robot. I can take Xanax and develop. I don't know any adults that take Xanax right. It's like that's an addiction waiting to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, I was prescribed Xanax when I was a kid, but it's like if I take a Xanax right now, I'll be like this. This is the best feeling I've ever had. I'm going to be addicted to this.
Yeah,
right.
Same.
Want it. I want to feel that way all the time. Anybody would. It feels great, but like, so for me, it's like, I remember I had a moment where a friend that was straight edge, I like took a Xanax and I wasn't prescribed at the time. Somebody gave it to me and he's freaking out. Like, you're not straight edge. You took this thing. And I'm like, I've been prescribed this since I was 12. And now that I'm 30 years old, it's not okay for you. And it becomes a class thing. Like, I don't have health insurance, so I can't get a prescription. Sure. And furthermore, I don't want a prescription of anything that helps for anxiety. And maybe I'm wrong for that. I don't know.
No,
but
I in my older age, it's the kind of thing where like you find out about straight edge and you're just kind of like naive. Then you learn and you get more into it and you're like an asshole. And then I think everybody kind of chills and it's just like, this is a thing for me. I really don't give a shit. And like, although I wouldn't necessarily do this, I think if there was a straight edge person out there who reacted really well to like THC gummies that helped them with anxiety as opposed to taking some kind of pharmaceutical, it's all about the function to me. Yeah. Like I really don't think that
I'm going to start smoking cigarettes and there's nothing anybody can say.
Well, I'm just saying it's like saying, oh, you ate tiramisu. That's got fucking rum in it, dude. So, and it's like, no, how much tiramisu would you have to eat to get fucked up, brother?
I'm going to start smoking 3 packs a day and be the fucking most straight edge motherfucker you've ever seen.
If it helps you, I'm with it. But I will say that the risk to reward ratio with cigarettes and like the turnaround, it's like not as helpful. I would say dangerous. Blunt, you hit the weed and you'll feel great.
I don't think it looks the same. I think a cig looks a certain way.
You think it looks cool?
Oh my God, that's the coolest thing ever. Dude, I see a guy ripping a cig and I want to know. I want to have him on the show, honestly.
What show or movie has made you want to smoke?
Mad Men, dude.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I'm addicted to cigarettes.
Yeah, it's my cat. I'm sorry.
I got the horny cat.
That's why I always say to him, I'm like, dude, get him a friend or something,
He's got a buddy. It's because I got the door closed and he wants to come in here.
Oh. He wants to have sex with us.
He wants to get in on this.
The two coolest smokers I think are Franz. Franz is a person who smokes, and I'm like, I want to smoke. That looks cool. Matt Berry from the Berries, and who's played in Angel Dust a little bit, and Big Bite. He's a fucking badass smoker, dude.
Dude, I
What's his style?
I can't.
Like,
Dude, he hits it so hard. He's like,
so this way?
it looks like a lot of work. He's like,
It looks like a lot of work.
You see the cigarette just retracting.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Like someone he's done, dude.
I like those guys that are like, I don't have. Oh, I got a pen here. Where they're like a full body suck, you know?
Dude, that's Johnny Sack from The Sopranos smokes his cigarettes exactly like that.
The military way is the coolest. Where they're like.
Oh yeah.
Because that was,
Dude,
do you ever know the lore behind why they do that?
No.
To hide the ember from the enemy.
Wow. Why? I would think he'd be like,
Yeah,
I know.
right. Yeah.
They got the fucking the blicky in the other
gun.
hand, brother. They can't do that.
My mom smoked in the house my entire childhood,
Same.
just like chain smoking.
I like it.
So now, like, if I catch a whiff on somebody's clothes or anything, like, there actually isn't a bigger turnoff.
No, I'm the same way. I hate the smell. I just think like
Can't.
my dad smoked, and I was always like, there's smoke, there's shit everywhere. Like in his car was like, I got driven to school in the fucking VW Sig, dude. A 98 VW Sig.
Sick.
But it smelled. It always smelled.
Windows up.
Yeah.
Oh, that goddamn window up. It's cold outside.
And I'm
Oh
just
my
like,
god. My clothes would
looks
smell
cool,
like it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
anyway,
rough.
cigarettes aside.
But weed don't make your shit smell like that. And if you do, like right when you get done smoking weed, you'll smell like it for a minute. But I think it's more on your hands than
Yeah,
anything.
but you like that.
But I always get the same thing where people
Yeah,
are like,
right.
it smells good.
Yeah.
Not
So
me.
wait, you're saying that on the road, do you avoid fast food because you have to?
I'll eat fast food, but I gotta be really particular. And I always feel like really annoying because I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, I need this burger, but I need you to take off this, that, and the other. I'm basically allergic to everything that's not meat and vegetables.
Right.
And even things that I'm not necessarily allergic to might upset my stomach. And then even with that, then you get into like beef, and like beef is really fatty, and that upsets my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And
Do you think maybe a
Which
little
at
bit
home,
of
that's
some
fine.
of this is you did to yourself? Because I remember at one point you were like, I eat 20 White Castles a day.
I've done White Castle, but it was more McDoubles. This was my problem at the time.
Dude, remember
So,
when a McDouble was $1.07?
How much is it now?
Dude, it's like $1.40.
It's two for $3.50. Okay, let's be
two
real.
for $3.50, but that's still
That's-
$1.75 a piece.
That's quite
An
a
expensive burger.
quite a raise.
Quite a raise.
That was specific when I was bulking up. When I was like 215 pounds, I would do like 7 McDoubles straight, so like 14 beef patties, and then I did like the Go Mad diet where you drink a gallon of milk every day. While I was lactose intolerant, that sealed the deal. That
was it.
killed.
Your body never forgave you.
Were you just like as gassy as possible then?
Honestly, I kind of like adapted really fast, and I grew really fast. Like it like put hella weight on me.
Huh.
But afterwards, I noticed like after I like calmed down with that, that's when I like fully couldn't do dairy at all.
Wow.
And a couple months later, I was like still experiencing like other symptoms, and then I tried to go vegetarian. So I was like eating like this is like a couple years later. I tried to go vegetarian, and I was eating like wheat gluten, lots of like patties, like soy wheat based shit. And I thought I was like, I started losing weight rapidly, and people were like calling me and being like, "Yo, are you okay? I saw a photo of you." Like lost all this weight because I was just shitting everything I ate.
Fuck yeah. Same.
Yeah, badass. Dude.
Do you still are in the gym often or?
Yeah, more than ever. I had like some injuries that got really bad. Like I literally had trouble walking for like a year or two. My back was so fucked, and I tried everything, man. I like paid lots of doctors, and I don't have health insurance or no shit.
Still?
Like, dude,
You
no.
know you got to pay a fine every year. Like you could pay.
No, you
it
don't.
costs less.
You don't gotta do that,
No, you
dude.
don't.
You don't gotta do that.
Listen to this guy.
Okay,
I don't have health insurance either. I haven't in
the
years.
IRS is just like Baskin Robbins, man. They always
No,
find
it's
out.
because you live in fucking California.
Oh, is that why?
It's one of the only places where it's like they're trying to wring money out of
Oh,
everybody.
okay,
there.
well, whatever.
Yeah.
I like having insurance. I just got into going to
I
the
would love
doctor,
it.
man. It's awesome.
It's great, isn't it? When you have insurance, it's really fucking amazing.
Well, it's just that there is medicine for literally everything that's wrong with you.
That's not
No,
true.
it's true. I felt that way until like last year. And
Dude, if you had any idea how much I've paid and how much time I've spent going to doctors and being like, let's figure out what's going on, you know? And like,
you got to go to my guy.
I ended up when I got diagnosed with celiac, the final result was I had a doctor and I was like, I want to do blood work. I want to do this. Like, let's do everything, bro. Anything possible. And I've had blood work done and been like, I got to figure out what's going on in my stomach. And he was like, look, man, you have celiac. He's like, I'm not supposed to tell you this. Like, I'm supposed to do the tests or whatever, but don't waste your money. And it's going to be really grueling. And apparently the tests they do, they like just basically make you eat lots of gluten for like 5 weeks, I think it is, which I don't even know if I'd survive that. Like, I think I would die, you know? I'm like so sensitive to that shit. Like, I would be fucked. So you have to like eat gluten for 5 weeks and then you get off for 5 weeks and then they do all these tests, send you all these places. And it's like a lot of money. And again, I was like, I'll pay the money. But the doctor was like, you've been coming here for years. I'm not allowed to just tell you. But
Why?
Telling you, like, this is celiac.
Man,
but, you know?
That's a good doctor.
But yeah, I'm like thankful for that.
Shut up.
I think I get his license taken if I said that.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show, Justice's doctor.
Dr. Gluten.
I asked because my doctor's name is Daniel J. Lewis. So I got that going for me.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
What's Daniel J. Lewis about?
Method acting?
Yeah. He's training for a role right now as a doctor. Yeah, that's good shit. So what's next for you musically? You got Cold Mega going on. You're doing that's like actual solo stuff.
Yeah, I just like to run it back real quick so people don't think I can walk great now.
Okay. Good.
I didn't believe you, and I didn't want to bring it up again. So I'm going.
I just like let them.
I guess. Wait, before we get into that, do you think you're stronger now than you were in that era?
Dude, I'm more fit than I was when I was 25, guaranteed.
Crazy.
More mobile, healthier. I feel so much better. Like
you were fucking big.
You were.
I was big.
You were big.
I think you know what it was. What fucked me up is like I'm not meant to be that big.
Sure.
Like I'm meant to be fit or whatever. But like having like James Peligi around, I think like he's probably the number one person that I would see, or like Dan Seeley or something like that. And, like see these big fools and be like, I want to be big. Yeah. Like I want to be that
Seeley
big too.
now is like
horrifying.
He looks like a movie star.
Yeah,
he has
Seeley,
movie star muscles.
He's a monster. Dude. He's so big.
Well, somebody else I will say was a monster deceptively was Brendan Yates.
Brendan Yates is a skinny monster. Like, dude, no body fat ever. So like,
but when he was like bodybuilder guy in like 2010, 2011, he had a legit like movie. He had like a Zac Efron body.
Yeah, I think the thing with actors is they're like always short and like more compact. Yeah. So on screen, like you see everything, you know, it looks like more and less space. And Brendan's not like short guy, but he's like a little bit more compact, and he's always stayed around like I think like the 140 range. But even like as big, it's probably like 145, but no body fat.
Wait, what?
And that's like Chris. That's
no,
Chris's.
Dude. Brendan had to have been in the 160s, 170s at that time.
How much? Colin, how much you think? How much you think Chris weighs? It like now, like
currently,
beefy Chris.
I just saw him.
Yep,
170.
No, not even close. He's in 140s.
Are you kidding me?
I swear to God.
I could throw him a mile.
Well,
how much do you want to make it back and throw a football over them mountains?
I'll bet any amount of money you can
name it. Fuck, I just had something. It was Brennan.
Jack.
God damn it. Keep talking.
Jared is the strongest guy in Trapped Under Ice now, though.
I got it.
Oh, dude, he's so big and strong. I don't know if he's been doing like conventional lifting. That he might.
No, he does muscle ups on a fucking bench at a park.
A cliff somewhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say like he's like more like practical, strong. Like so again, like conventional lifting is incredible and I love it. And there's people who do it functionally. I like damage my body a lot doing it. Jared's the kind of fool who just goes and finds a tree branch and does like 46 muscle ups straight.
I did that with him for like 6 months, and it was the strongest I'd ever been.
Really? Wow.
I can't do that many pull-ups now, but I don't.
I remember now. I think the most fit band is actually Bitter End currently. Everyone in Bitter End is a legit monster.
That's not true.
Yeah.
One of the guys is not.
What are you talking about? Well, Jacob, he's skinnier. He's skinnier, but he's still like
you can't
fit.
even. He's half the size as the other guys.
But he's taller than all of them, and that adds a lot.
I guess so.
That's hard, dude.
It adds a lot.
If he's the writing guy, then he gets the exception. He's the
Which there you go.
You know? It's like the bulldoze, who's the bulldoze guy with the glasses? The whatever New York guy at the time in the mid-90s.
Polish guy, he's Polish.
Yeah, the Polish guy with the glasses. They're that, you know. They don't have to be strong.
But I ain't fucking with the Polish guy with glasses and bulldoze.
No, dude.
Got a vibe.
Okay, speaking of Polish guys and glasses, on that European tour, I saw the most, like, to this day, meanest pit move I've ever seen in my life.
Was it Rattle President, dude?
I think I don't want to put him on blast.
He's the most savage mosh pitter.
I was like, I literally did this when it happened. He took a guy's glasses off their face and exploded them, and just kept moshing. And I was like, and now he's like a record label owner, and I want to invest.
Dude, I remember that tour. It was our friend Adam Malik was like, "Yo, put this name on the guest list, and the most insane mosh pitter will show up and just devastate the crowd." And I was like, "What is this? It's like a myth, or like it sounds like fantasy."
You
know, it's like saying Bloody Mary 3 times.
Yeah. Who's gonna tell this guy that he's on the list? So he put his name on the list, and we started playing, and then that's when the Fool came out. That's my boy. He's incredible.
Wow.
I think that on that tour was the only time I'd ever talked to him, but I was in awe. He was like Godzilla to me, dude.
His only English at that time was I was like, "Hey man, what's up? Are you know, I don't know if we're putting his name on the his name's Michael. He doesn't care. He broke somebody's glass. He's done a lot of crazy stuff in the pit. But I was like, "Are you Michael?" And he said, "No English, Polish or die," and walked off.
Holy fuck.
Like, he's like, "I'm here to pit. You know, I ain't trying to speak to you. No fucking."
But how did
English.
that feel to you? Aren't you Polish?
Well, like, you know, family is Polish.
Okay. You don't claim
really,
Poland?
I don't speak Polish.
Because I remember once you would proclaim to me that you had an East Rock Polak cock. So
yeah.
I live in Ukrainian village, Polish neighborhood in my.
Oh yeah, those go together.
Yeah, very much. So all of my neighbors are all from Polska.
Neighborhood my family is from is like that, like all Polish and Ukrainian.
They smash glasses over there. Is that an ancient pastime in Poland?
Oh no, we smashing glasses all day,
okay.
for sure. Like I lived a lot of my life in above the Polish bar that my mom managed. So I've seen a lot of glasses get broke. They love to just get drunk and brawl and shit. But I don't think that's a Polish thing. I think that's like a maybe it is.
Well, it's a working class thing, which kind of goes hand in hand with being Polish.
You fuck with pierogies or what, dude?
Can't eat pierogies anymore, dude. I'm looking for the gluten-free pierogies.
Oh, that is so tragic, man.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I had a friend growing up who was from Poland. All of my first 3 girlfriends were all born in Poland. Like the neighborhood we grew up in, me and Chris, was all like Polish kids. And dude, Polish fathers are the scariest fucking people on earth.
Yeah.
Like my friend came home late, got his ass beat. It was just like I was just like holding my skateboard, like I gotta go home.
Did you go home?
Yeah.
I went right home.
That's
and
crazy.
my mom is the opposite.
Problem with being Polish is the mom handles shit the same way too. So I've got some Polish mom and dad whoopings for sure. You know.
Let's start. We're at 90 minutes here. Thank you so much for your time.
that's really
but we'll start winding it down because I'm gonna shit myself here.
Okay.
I don't even want to wind it down. Here's the truth of the matter. I'm so bummed. Like I just like talking about hardcore so much, and I don't get to do it as much as I'd like. So
I'll shit myself. I will shit in this chair if you.
It's all content, brother.
I'll take the conversation to the bathroom. You can do that too.
I'll just yell. It's right there. I can yell.
Dude, it would be awesome actually if you had a mic in the bathroom.
Just I can't let you hear the bidet stream. I don't care about the farting and the shitting, but
got the bidet.
Of course, I got the bidet. What am I?
He's a
Japanese one.
He's a champion of the bidet.
I got one. I got 2 bathrooms. Both are bidet up, dude.
Is it the Japanese one, like it's like in the toilet,
brother? I sit every day on a heat-seeking submarine, basically. I don't know how it finds the hole, but it finds the hole. It finds
the hole, exactly. Like you can move it.
I don't have to move. Direct hit. Sank my battleship. Okay?
B5.
Do you do the thing where you let it in, like you like bring it inside of you and hold it there for a second?
Oh, really?
Well, here's the
Is
thing.
that the move?
So I this is graphic. I like to finish up, fire up the stream, and that creates a whole other event. It loosens up what's going on in there.
Oh,
yeah.
And then you find out you were harboring a fucking fugitive.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, Will Yip has one, or he had one in his studio.
Yes.
He probably still has.
Yes, he does.
That's it's like the nicest one I've ever used at the time, at least. And like, you can like suck water up your butt and like clean it all out. And I was using that a lot. I was like taking advantage of that.
Yep.
And then I didn't know that you can reserve some water. You can hold some water up there. And I found out we were tracking vocals and I sprayed some out. It was really
Was it water
strange.
or was it?
I mean, it's like what the coagulation
Oh, okay.
of
Good word.
thing.
Yeah,
I don't know if coagulation even works in
that's
that.
strong.
I
That's
liked
a
it.
strong
I
word.
like that you went with
good
it.
vocab.
It sounded good.
Yeah.
The bidet is still there.
Damn.
Bidet
All
is
right,
still
guys. I wish somebody cleaned it because I feel like a bidet can just like over that much time accumulate foam.
Absolutely. My wife
There's
ain't happy with me, brother, because I ain't going down there. That's on her.
Really?
Every time she's like, "How does it get here?" And I'm like, "Just the way I was made. It's my shape."
I feel like at that point you got to take it out back in the yard and hose it off or something.
I got a scrubber just for that. I'm not using it, but she can.
Damn.
Yeah.
Dude, in Thailand, our first night in Thailand, the toilet, there was no toilet paper. It was a bucket and a hose.
I mean, that's
Damn.
more efficient than toilet paper if you think about it.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I
Absolutely.
don't use toilet paper. If I use like the bidet or something like that, like there's always remnants.
Yeah,
you gotta like,
wipe after, of course.
So, well, the expectation is to use the hose and then your hand.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, I swear to God. I swear to
Yeah,
God.
I'll use my
Ask
hand
Andrew.
fucking-
Andrew Morrissey ever talked about this to you?
No.
He at one time
He
said
must
that
like
he
it,
preferred
man,
it.
sick fucking
Yeah,
bastard.
he said that he preferred it.
Fuck him, man. Andrew, I love you. You're sick.
The hand, just touching your booty hole feels
Wrong.
wrong. Unless you're in the shower, you gotta.
I like I don't know if Klippa listens to the show, but I like the one time that Klippa was like, "I'm tired of having shit in my ass, man." If you remember that. And you were like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "There's just always shit in there."
He's like, you got the same thing. If you wipe your ass right now, there's shit. we all wiped our asses to be like, look, nothing, dude. That's how it. And then he did.
Well, bring back Klippa.
Somehow,
What's he doing, man? He's tatting. Man.
Clip was he's a very different man now. He's like still a psychopath, but very responsible for himself, way more self-aware and way like I feel like Clippa now does not have
No
poop
shit in
butt.
his ass.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
It is avoidable. That's one of those things. I'm telling you, there's a solution for everything.
We can FaceTime right now and get him to do a spot check.
You think he would do it?
I mean, he would do it for sure. He doesn't. That's one thing that hasn't changed about him is he doesn't give a fuck. Like he's not
Hit
embarrassed.
him, dude.
He's,
Call him.
I'm gonna try FaceTime
Okay.
real quick.
Colin.
Klippa was he the original second guitar player of Trapped Under Ice, or did he come in a little later?
Yeah, he was original.
Original second guitar player of Trapped Under Ice.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, Colin, you got a squatty potty.
No, I don't
And the
use a
bidet.
squatty potty. I told you.
don't use the
I
squatty
put my
potty.
feet straight up on the bowl.
Oh, that's not a bit.
No, that's
You
not
really
a bit.
do
I
that.
do it. I trained my whole life for that. I'm like,
How the fuck do you do
I'm in
that?
there like this, dude.
You have incredible hip
That's how
mobility.
you
That's what
sit
I've
on the
known about you.
toilet.
No, not the whole time. You don't have to do it the whole time. But when I'm
Okay,
like,
so it's just
when I'm
when
needing
you're-
a little inspiration or something,
Okay.
I'll throw them
Little
over.
This is Colin Colin does the
writer's
kick.
block.
Colin does the kick that goes straight up over his head. He's got great
Forgive my
hips.
feet here. But let me show you a little something here. Come on now.
Really?
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Oh, we're doing it. We're trying.
Is he on?
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
We'll see.
Klippa's gonna wipe his ass for us live.
He might have. Ayo.
Klippa, what's up?
Curtis. Yo.
You're on the podcast right now.
Klippa. Oh shit! Look at that with the God's Hate shirt live, dude.
Damn.
You can't make this shit up. Can you
really
explain the bit to him?
So check it out, because you can't hear Colin. We're doing the podcast right now, right? HardLore.
Oh, am I live on TV?
You're live on
Kinda.
TV right now, Clippa.
On television right now.
Oh shit! I'm glad you said that. I was about to say a bad word. I'm just kidding.
So check it out. We're wondering if we can get a spot check on your ass right now.
What does that mean? Oh
We're-
no! Oh,
It's about like talking like bathroom habits and the potential of having dookie in your butt. And we talked about a time when that happened. We were all sharing stories. We've all had poop in our butt, you know.
yeah.
And we were wondering if we could get a live action poop check right now.
Look, when you look at the sink, what's dripping out of the sink? Water, right?
Yeah.
Because that's where water comes from. Dookie comes from your ass. So when you look at your ass, there's gonna be some dookie dripping out that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's completely acceptable.
By far, dude.
Is there? Could you get to a bathroom and just check right now, do a little wipe and see what's in there?
No, because I didn't even take a shower today because Lemon was here.
So he failed the spot check.
It's a
So we know-
murder scene.
We know there's poop in that butt.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I feel the toilet paper was not brown this morning, but we've been walking around. It's like hot.
Oh, okay.
So there's something going on. I know for me that would be the case for sure.
There's something going on.
All right. Well, I thank you, Clippa.
Panther planner I just got.
Damn.
Oh, there you go. Gorgeous.
Where you at? What city you in?
Columbus. Lemon came to visit. Lemon's here.
Oh damn, what's up, Lemon?
He's scared to cross the street. I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah. All right, brother. I'm gonna talk to you soon.
Are you in Baltimore?
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna do some podcast shit. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye. Love
Peace,
y'all.
bud.
That was
That
incredible.
was good stuff.
We need to do
good.
that more
I
often.
know.
Ass checks, spot checks on random.
Did y'all
people.
hear him a little
Yeah.
Oh,
bit?
yeah, I
it was-
heard him
dude,
great,
clear as
actually.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's I like that he's with our friend Lemon. When I met Clippa, dude, it was like perfect. We met him. He played in like a metalcore band, and he just had like a really good vibe. And we were starting Trapped Under Ice, and we were like, dude, that dude, that like weird psycho metalhead, would be so good in the band, you know? So like we're like, let's get to know him more. So we like started kicking with him, and the first thing I found out about him is all his friends had food names. So there's like Lemon, Ketchup, and Chicken was his homies.
And he's still lemon, like, apparently.
Well, yeah, Lemon's around. I don't know about Ketchup and Chicken. There's probably like Salt and Pepper around or some shit. They all had those names.
What
I
was
need to
Clippa?
find out about ketchup.
Clip was Clippa, dude. You can't take that away, you know?
A
he
favorite,
was
a favorite
so-
dish.
Yeah. Eating warm bowl of Clippa.
Well, it's not going to get any better than that on this.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
What? Okay, you got to do more Trapped Under Ice.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'd love to do Trapped Under Ice. We talk about it. We obviously we got the TUI group chat.
Yeah.
That's what TUI is right now. It's a group chat mostly.
Sure.
And, you know, I love the team. Brennan's obviously very busy.
Of course.
Jared's obviously very strong.
Yes. Dude,
And
what is Brad up to?
That's the thing, dude. Brad's ready to
Oh.
go. Me and Brad, that's the most likely two
Okay.
at the moment, you know?
Mhm.
I love Brad.
Brad's a father. He's married. He's doing great. He's just, dude, he's Brad. Like,
The
Brad
best
is
dude
a
ever.
unique personality. Yeah.
Dude, for a while, so he stayed with me a couple times, and I made my guest Wi-Fi password Bradford, just so he could log on. And I might still be Bradford to this day because he stayed over.
You can do a guest password?
Brother, you don't know what I'm working with, dude.
He's deep, man. He's in the Matrix.
I'm
Straight up.
matrixed out.
Yeah.
I'm so far from the Matrix. I record music, and it took me so long to like set up, like get my little interface going and shit.
I'm happy to
Get
help
the-
you anytime. All right.
Yeah. Glad you guys walked me
Let
through
me
it.
ask you this, and I feel like this could be the answer. You write Angel Dust stuff. You know how easy it is to make an incredible melody is like 10 minutes of work a lot of the time. You know.
I think it's you kind of have it or you don't, because like
Exactly.
I think I have something. I'm good at that. And there's some people who are just better at that than me.
Sure.
You know, like I have friends that you show them something and they write an incredible melody. I might write a good one. It'd take me a little bit longer, and some people are just like more prone to certain things.
But that's the easy part. And like also that's the thing that people for certain people, and that's the thing that people remember. Writing an original hard mosh part right now
Yeah.
has never been harder.
It's impossible.
It is
I
Very,
think I got.
very hard. Very hard.
I'm gonna be real. I think that's the easiest part for me.
no.
Ooh.
Then okay. Well, then I expect a fucking give me a new record.
But the problem with that is, I don't have a team that's locked into that, and it's like not my biggest aspiration is not to write the heaviest thing. You know, at this point in my life,
I've been
Like,
hearing you
like
say that for 10 years now.
Yeah. But it's something I do care about and I do love. It's like for me, the experimenting part is the most important thing. It's like learning, growing, trying new things. And it's like we all do that. Like I was just thinking about Taylor earlier. It's like Taylor's at a point where he's been doing this shit forever and he still keeps growing. And like you hear that on every recording he makes. And like your whole team, like it's like seeing God's Hate. Full transparency, I actually didn't come to the second day of Sound and Fury because my throat was so bad. I was like coughing blood and stuff. And I was like, I can't talk to people. And you can't go to Sound and Fury and not talk.
Yeah.
So I had to like sit in a little apartment
Damn.
and just be like, I was just watching everything online. But like just watching like clips of God's Hate and stuff like that and being like, how do these fools keep evolving? Like how do they, you know? And that's a
You have
fucking
to.
it's hard, but that's like an actual skill, you know? Like
Absolutely.
the ability to experiment and grow and keep growing. And for me, that's been like, okay, how do I experiment with these tools? And now it's production. I'm like really focused on production. And I would love to do like a Trapped Under Ice or heavy band through the context of what I love about production. And, you know, like my love for guitars has grown in a slightly different direction. I think, dude, 20 minutes sit down, I can make riffs all day, you know? I can make heavy riffs.
I beg you to prove it to me. Because I just
And then
want more.
record it
I
and
want
put it
more.
out.
That's all it is.
I feel you, dude. And I do think I've had this conversation with Jared a lot. Like, if we were doing that and we were recording Trapped Under Ice, like, it would be so sick to do it at the pit.
It'd be so sick.
And, you know, I like the idea of having people involved. Like, I've never been like, our band is sacred. This is just the five of us doing this. Like, it was cool when we did Big Kiss Goodnight. Chad Gilbert had a lot of input. Nick Jett was there, had a little bit of input. And like, you know, different friends. We've always sent stuff. As long as we've been a band, we've been sending songs to members of Bitter End. And just getting their feedback. And yeah, I would like to do a Trapped Under Ice record and have you guys be a part of that process. That'd be fun.
You know I'm in, dude. I'll do whatever you want.
But motivating the team. You got to call the team. You got to, hey, if everybody can do it, you and Taylor, you should start making some calls.
I'll make the calls.
Members are Trapped Under. I guarantee it's going to be Brad's going to be like this. Let's go. When? Tell me when. Like, he's just down. That man, he's on deck, ready to go.
Who's the biggest holdup? Is it Sam?
Dude, honestly, Brendan obviously is very busy, and he is a key piece of the identity of Trapped Under Ice musically. Like Big Kiss Goodnight, there's so much of Brendan's flavor on that, you know?
I mean, the drumming is very, very unique.
Yeah. And Sam has a family. He has 2 kids.
Wow.
And we all live apart from each other. I don't think there's no person I could blame and say this person can't do it. It's more just a
life thing.
All have such very different lives. Sure. And, you know, I guess with me and Brendan, at the end of the day, like our lives are music and entertainment. And we're both willing to like make it happen. But can I make it happen at the same time Brendan can make it happen? Can Sam make it happen at the same time? Jared's a fucking jacked firefighter in the woods. But Brad is like, you know, Brad has he has his life, he has a kid, he has a wife, and he has a career and stuff. But yeah, nobody's not willing. It's just we're just all grown, you know.
And like, logistics and schedules fucking sucks.
Yeah,
just is what it is.
But with that being said, I'm down to fucking riff. Let's make some heavy shit.
All right.
Like,
I'll make the calls. If
Well,
it happens,
here first.
If it happens at some point soon, you're welcome.
Look, we'll give them 6 months to a year to get their shit together, right?
Okay.
And when they're not doing it, the 3 of us, Taylor, I don't know who else we got to get in there, but we just write the TUI All Stars. We've always joked. There's always a joke in the van, the Trapped Under Ice van of you know how bands get back together with like a member years later and like what that's going to be, and then you end up having to change the name and all that stuff. So our theoretical scab Trapped Under Ice band was called J5. Just either Justice or Jared plus 4 other people.
Dude, Jared plus 4 other people would be unbelievable.
Day 5 just playing TUI songs.
I know that
and
you would be at the gig too.
Oh, I would fucking. Dude, Jared's voice, it's crazy that it's not used more because he had a band he sang in, and then they ended up like not put. I don't think they even put it out. His voice is awesome. So Jared on the mic. You two, Taylor. Who's our 4th? Who's our 5th member of the J5?
Am I playing drums?
I pictured you immediately on guitar, but yeah, you could play drums. Yeah. So that's all we need. What's got to be J5?
We'll figure it out. We'll figure out J5.
I'll play guitar. I'm playing guitar in J5.
Okay.
Really open to making heavy music, and I do make heavy music by myself, but
it's private.
I am kind of. I want to be right. I'll say that. I'm not doing some bullshit.
I mean,
I'm not going to get.
I'm in the same boat right now. I'm in like the writing mode where you can't sleep, and you're at the movies, but you're actually just like structuring a riff in your head.
Dude, do you ever be at the movies and you're like with your girl and you're at the movies and you're like, dun, dun, dun,
yes.
dun, dun,
Oh yeah.
Sure. I have entire songs like note for note in my voice memos. Like finish the job is somewhere in a voice memo, start to finish.
Check this out. So every Angel Dust recording has anywhere between, I come into the recording with between 70 and 120 demos. That's not an exaggeration. I write music full time. This is what I do. So like, and it's kind of pathetic. Like when I say that, and then you like, I love what I do, but it doesn't sound like when you put out the Angel Dust record, it doesn't sound like, man, this guy had 120 demos and spent his entire life making this for years. You know, that's the reality.
But in reality, that's like 3 weeks of demos for you, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. This is my voice recording. This is just like little notes and stuff like that. But you have like new recording 501. 501. Right? But that's like new recording. That's only 501 new recordings. They also put like
the
if
address,
you're like,
I got a lot of
the address. Yep.
We got 122 at Shea Travels. I don't even know what Shea Travels is. It might be like next to a restaurant where I eat at or something.
Right, of course.
What do I got?
And then like there's just like a bunch of weird, like different recording names. Dude, you don't want me.
That's 6 feet deep.
Yeah.
Hard.
That's just like, okay. They're all in there. So yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Or going
and then
that's
yeah. It's to have that mind is almost it's almost like a weight to bear. And it makes relationships hard, makes life hard, and I don't know. I love writing music and I'm always down to. So let's riff, Colin. What you got?
Tis the question right now. What do I got? The problem isn't what do I got? It's what do I do with it? Which variation of what I got do I use?
It's what don't I got?
That's the problem. It's like I have this riff that I've been trying to make work for like 3 years, but I don't know which variation of it I want to do.
Dude, those always end up being the best songs. Like the one that you've been like sitting on for 3 years and you keep fucking with it. When you find the thing,
when you crack the code, that's what I call it. Gotta crack the code. Be Harder was one of those, and
I believe it, dude. That's a mega track,
thanks, man. That was a science. That was literally like my college thesis. I feel like if I went to college.
Sometimes you gotta just send me the riff, dude. Like I might have the thing and I might not. I never claim to be the guy that has all the answers. I'm just another guy in the spectrum of guys who have ideas.
Sure.
And girls. There's obviously there's a lot of girls that
guys is non-binary.
Yeah.
The guy.
I am not. I'm off that spectrum. I rarely write. It sucks. I just don't really have the brain for it.
Yeah, but you can play Master of Puppets.
I can.
Front to back.
So who writes Harm's Way?
Predominantly over the years, it was a lot of James.
I never knew that.
James, like Isolation, No Gods and On was a lot of James. The last record was a lot of Nick, our new guy. This next record's a lot of Nick as well.
Yeah.
Every record, there's like a song that I like kind of influenced, with a riff or two, but like that's kind of it. I'm more of an arranger guy and less of
You're an arranger and a jumper.
It's hard for me to just be like, oh, we need a part here. And like It's difficult.
That's what that's my expertise, dude.
Having input outside of the riff and structural stuff is a whole another art too, and it's songwriting. It's part of songwriting, but like having somebody around that can give you input, because you get in your own brain. I like write shit all day long. D-Fang's really good at that. Like I write a song and he'll be like, this is cool, but what if and it's
That's
that good input.
that's always so fucking like, and you feel so dumb in the moment. You're like, why? And it's always the simplest thing. Like slow that down a little bit, or do that backwards, and you're like, I'm an idiot and a genius.
That's
James riffs.
Dude, I mean, isolation.
But
No
that's
God's
like
Isolation and
one finger on the first string
Yeah.
type writing riffs, right?
Yeah.
Like Josiah
basically.
style.
That was James in his parents' basement using his dad's Flying V, sending us demos. No joke.
Isn't it amazing? Like the one finger explaining the riff thing is such a thing. Like Brendan is like writes Turnstile, like a lot of it, you know, and like for a long time that's how he wrote Turnstile, was like one finger on the string. He like record drums and he'd be explaining it to you, and it's stuff that doesn't make sense on guitar. Like as guitar players, we would all be like, "That's not right," but it sounds cool.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
And Josiah, again, a good example of that.
Big
Like
time.
that fool got the whole song in his head and he'll tell you every part of it, but couldn't play it, you know, and he'll know if you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Be like, "Nah, that ain't it. You got to do."
Wow.
That I was definitely that until God Say It. I learned guitar to start that band, basically.
Way.
Yeah,
I always assumed you were a real riffer.
No. I feel like right now I'm currently the best guitar, and it's just because I'm trying to write this fucking one song. Like me trying to play this one riff in certain ways is making me a better guitar. But no, I could bear early Twitching Tongue stuff was like mostly Taylor, and if I was doing something, it was me being like nee, just trying to my way through it, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Did you guys say that Pliggy's, is he like a really humble person, or?
Extremely.
look at how he looks, man.
I think it's his vibe. Anything you try to give him credit for, he's just like, man. He doesn't have much to say about it. You know, he's like, yeah.
I think he's going to be the next guest sometime next week, I think. And maybe we can get into it. But I don't think he gives himself enough credit, honestly. Yeah. I really don't.
I give him enough credit.
You give him too much.
No. I look at him for 1 second. I'm like, man, I got to give him some credit.
Yeah, he deserves some credit. Like, if you ever lift weight with him, like, he's so humble about everything. Like, he'll be, like, repping out, like, 600-pound deadlifts, just like it means nothing to him. I don't know what his lift is right now, but I've just seen him deadlift the most weight. And I'll be like, I'm very not articulate, but I like to talk about things, and, like, I want to know. And, like, what's analytical. I'm very analytical. And, like, I'll be like, yeah, I noticed when you set up, you did this thing. Like, what did you do? How did you do this? This is incredible. And he's like, yeah, man, you just got to do it. You just do it. You know, it's like always like simple information.
Yeah.
I know there's more to it. I know he's like thinking a lot about it, but
he's an amazing person. He's very like encouraging. When I would go and like lift with him, like you said, on tours, he would be doing that, and I would be doing less than half of what he was doing deadlifting. You know what I mean?
But that's impressive.
But he would be like, yeah, oh man, you got long arms. Like, you're going to be really good at deadlifting. Bench is going to suck, but I suck at bench too. Like that's like the conversation, you know, where it's like, it's very just like very encouraging. I mean, the guy's a teacher, you know?
Yeah.
He's
it's not about him.
No.
You know, he doesn't care about him.
About we.
That's where me, I'd be like, everybody saw that?
That's how I got to be less like that, man. My ego, HardLore's putting my ego out of control. I got to check it.
Dude.
over 2,000 views, you know?
Yeah, it's just these numbers. I can't count that.
It's getting out of control. I got to check myself.
There's a way to calculate your views and stuff with I know nothing about podcast world.
Brother, this is on YouTube.com. You fuck with YouTube?
Oh, this is all just YouTube.
No, we're on the podcast too,
but
yeah, there you can see the audio. The audio the audios are all pretty consistent, but the videos are like kind of depends on the guest.
Yeah.
I've listened to maybe 5 podcasts like ever in their entirety. and it's usually like someone else turns it on. I've even like in the beginning, I've definitely handed somebody my phone and been like, find the podcast. I can't do that.
Yeah.
But now it's on Spotify,
Sure.
so it's like,
yeah, huge.
I listened to little bits and pieces of something y'all did a while ago, and then some Axe to Grind episodes, and in the van we've done Come Town because everybody's like, you're gonna love this.
Yeah.
And you loved it.
Come Town makes my head feel like it's gonna explode. Dude.
Yeah.
It's like,
You can't
so
listen.
much
I've never listened to a full episode of Come Town. Only clips.
yeah.
I can't listen to a podcast with other people around me. I feel like that's a headphone thing for me.
For driving at night?
Maybe
How
driving
not,
at night, but
dude?
I'm a music guy at night. I'll just.
I need
you know.
to be like activated. You know? I need to be an active driver.
Dude, I always listen to like history podcasts.
That
and
would
shit. I don't
fucking-
want to. I don't want to subject other people to it, so I put on my headphones. You know.
Did y'all get a chance to actually experience Sound and Fury? Did you do a Sound and Fury episode?
Yeah, we did.
Like
yeah.
one,
Yeah.
like a recap of
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
because I know you were doing the podcast, and I didn't know if that like took away from your
It
ability.
did a
to,
little bit, but for the most part, I had the best time.
I had a great time. Yeah. It was a lot of
It
fun.
was so
Good-
cool.
Good vibe. Really good vibe.
Yeah,
I really
I don't
enjoyed
think it could
myself.
have gone better, honestly. Did you guys have a favorite? I mean, you guys already talked about this on the podcast, I'm
sure
sure, but
did.
just
Yeah,
for me, what was your favorite?
God's Hate was genuinely incredible. The Terror set was really good.
Terror was that was the one for me.
Terror was really good. I watched Angel Dust. Angel Dust was awesome. I watched. I'm trying to think of who were other standouts.
You loved Speed, Tsunami.
Speed was incredible.
Yeah.
I feel like this might be a typical answer, but it's for a reason. Between Speed and Scow, that was like the two most like exciting, like what the fuck moments, you know?
Yeah, I think for me it was Speed because it was their first show here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're just getting a reaction that bands would kill for.
Yeah.
They're like,
Dude, I've been-
Harm's Way's been a band for 16 years. We would kill to have that kind of reaction. You know what I'm saying?
I've been seeing those kids are like,
Yeah.
well, some of them since they were like babies,
Dude,
you know?
D
It's like,
Cold, come on.
Yep.
He's been
Legend.
around.
Yep.
man, we played in, I forget the name of the town, but it's like a smaller town in Australia. And it's the smallest show we've played in Australia ever. It was probably like 40, 50 people. And everybody was like kind of uncomfortable and standing in the back. And D Cole was just like a kid, but also giant already, you know?
Yeah.
It's like pummeling everybody and singing along. There's like photos from that show where it's just me and him. It looks like I'm playing for him, you know? Like,
Was it
Together.
Wollongong? Did you play in Wollongong?
maybe.
Dude.
Might have been. There's also Canberra.
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 Canberra,
Brother.
yeah. It might have been Canberra too. It's like a smaller town,
One time in Wollongong,
Kinda.
this is real short. I fell for 3 minutes.
right? You could, yeah, like 3 minutes of trying to get up. Or,
I like the beginning of a song. I started being like, and like took the whole song to stop falling until I eventually just like shattered onto the floor. And there's no video. And I have to radio in somebody from Australia because so many people at me be like, "Hey mate, I was there at the time you fell for like a full song."
dude, that's not. How did you do that? That sounded so authentic.
He's good at it. Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
I fell in Brisbane once, and there was like a lady there who I was trying to, so I was embarrassed.
Of course.
That was the first time we run. This was ages ago, and then I've only fallen in Brisbane, Munich, and Chicago. And I ate shit in Chicago on the Ghost Main tour. I tripped over an entire pile of cables at the Metro and just like straight
dude.
back.
Falling on stage is miserable.
So embarrassing. It is the most embarrassing thing.
I want to shout out a classic fall that I just witnessed. Soul Blind was playing, and my boy Sen playing bass and sings. I was in Bakersfield, and there's like a little fucking ceiling thing that was hanging down kind of low, like some concrete that was a little low. And I like made note of it before he played, but my boy like running jumped into it and like did one of these, like his like feet kicked up over his head.
Oh no.
He took such a spill, and like there's just like not vocals or bass happening for like a hot minute, you know? But he handled it like with a lot of class, and they fucked the eyes.
I definitely think it's worse to fall with an instrument than not.
Oh,
sure,
dude,
dude.
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I've never done that though. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Well,
all right,
guys, we
here.
had just hit the 2 hour mark. We did it.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I like that. I felt that the same time you guys felt it. I was like, yeah, we can stop now.
Good time to wrap it up. But thank you for coming on. We'll have you back on eventually. That was a blast.
Dude, yeah, I really like talking to you guys. If you guys want to get together on Zoom and just talk about
have a good
hardcore
time.
sometime, we can do that too.
Yeah, we can do that too.
We won't record it. That one will be private.
That's just for us.
What do you got? You want to plug anything before we log off?
Just rock and roll music, hardcore. It's cool. A lot of cool music coming out right now. I think it's a special time for music, and like I genuinely feel that more than I've ever felt that in my life. Like music is cool right now. Hardcore is cooler than ever, and it's a lot of cool young bands, and I think that's the reason why.
Yep.
So, everybody keep doing your thing. Like keep it up.
Thank you, Turnstile, for.
I had somebody DM me the other day who was like, I heard what you guys are saying, but I don't understand the Koyo. Like Koyo isn't hardcore. I don't get it. And I had to hit him with the like, yo, it doesn't matter what they sound like.
It's a code of ethics, brother.
It's all here.
Yeah.
You know? And that is such an important thing that like Sound and Fury was a perfect example. We've already talked about it, but you had fucking Texas death metal and Gay Creeper and Cola Boy. You know, God's Hate and Scowl and Pity Sex. Like, it all works because it works.
Yeah.
It's the coolest shit.
Like, hardcore people have always been fucking with the Smiths and Morrissey and shit. It's like always been like a theme. It's like, why can't you do a hardcore band that sounds like the Smiths? I don't want nobody to do that, actually. I'll take that back. But
Colin, I gotta go. No, but I know what you mean. It's like, who gives a shit? There's a reason that everybody can play on the same stage. You know?
yeah, absolutely.
All right, y'all.
Alrighty.
Be good.
All right, gang. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
Could you say it's HardLore time real quick?
It's HardLore time.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye.
All right. Bye.
We stop recording?